Happy birthday to my dad and to me. I appreciate it. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. For Peter Gammons, I'm Chris Berman. So long. Sunday Night Baseball. Indians, Rangers, leaders, John and Joe.
The 1998 Texas Rangers have come out slugging, hitting over 300 and leading the major leagues in runs. The great Juan Gonzalez is #1 in the majors with 45 RBIs and could be on his way to an epic season. Also, Pudge Rodriguez, the league's player of the month in April, he's still hitting over 400. And they've been the prime movers on a Rangers club that has early control of the American League West. Tonight they meet the American League champion Cleveland Indians, who have their own array of impressive weapons. The Stars are out tonight in Texas as Sunday Night Baseball comes to town. It is a beautiful night for a ball game. We're at the ballpark in Arlington, and the Texas Rangers host the Cleveland Indians on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Two first-place teams, the Rangers atop the American League West, ahead of Anaheim, Seattle, and Oakland. And in the American League Central, the Cleveland Indians are perched well above the rest of the division. They're the only team with a winning record in the Central. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller, and happy Mother's Day to all of you out there. I know celebrating with your families today. We're glad to have you as part of our coverage of Sunday Night Baseball tonight. The Rangers are so hot. Juan Gonzalez is setting the world on fire with 45 RBIs. But also another Ranger All-Star, Ivan Pudge Rodriguez, the catcher, been known with that great arm, throwing out base stealers. Now he is also hitting over 400. He's doing it all. And he met up with my partner, Joe Morgan, around the batting cage before the game.
Pudge, when I watch you from up in the booth, it seems like you really make a conscious effort to keep your front shoulder in, and you can really drive the ball to right field. Yeah, absolutely. That's what hitters got to do, you know, keep the shoulder in so they can see the ball better. And that's what I do. I'm an opposite field hitter. I like to hit the ball second base and to the middle hard. And that's what I do, stay inside the ball. Yeah, but you said they've been catching your line drive lately. Yeah, you know, like we were talking earlier, you know. Some guys got to catch my balls, but, you know, the good thing is that I hit the ball hard now, and we like to keep that the whole year if I can. Well, the line drives are going to be caught because the law of averages catch up with you, but good luck the rest of the way. Thank you very much.
And with me in the booth now is Joe Morgan. And Joe, I mean, truly, Pudge Rodriguez is doing it all. We've watched him mature as a player, both offensively and defensively now. And I think that's the key, John. He has really matured as a hitter. He really reminds me a little bit of Roberto Clemente in that he aims everything to right field. All right, so we'll get a good look at him tonight. Pitching for Cleveland against these Texas sluggers, Jaret Wright, the young right-hander. He was a phenom last year as a rookie. He pitched the 7th game for the Cleveland Indians in the World Series. But he is struggling right now, Joe. Well, I think he's finding out that he can no longer just throw his 95-mile-an-hour fastball by these hitters. These hitters have made some adjustments. He will have to make some adjustments. He will have to go to the changeup and some breaking balls. Remember now, they didn't expect him to be here until the middle of this season, so he's still ahead of schedule. All right, so Jaret Wright goes tonight for the Cleveland Indians, who are trying to get a split in this series against these slugging Texas Rangers, and he'll be opposed by John Burkett. Dave Justice was out of the lineup with a little back problem. The Rangers and the Cleveland Indians coming up next.
Here you go. Can't wait to get a big house.
Just can't wait to get out of this big old house. Fortunately, everyone's idea of a dream house isn't always the same. As part of the world's #1 real estate sales organization, Century 21 professionals have the power to do more than anyone else to help you buy or sell a home. In other words, to make your dreams come true. That's the power of #1, Century 21.
Give me land, lots of land beneath the starry skies above. Don't fence me in, no, no, no. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. But don't fence me in. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences. Gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. Can't look at hobble.
Embassy Suites. See what a difference a stay makes.
Fence me in.
Hey, Grandpa, tonight we'll be at your house, and I got a surprise for you.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light you see,
surprise?
Stand by me.
The Sabre by Buick. Peace of mind.
Stand by me.
It's Michael Johnson. It's fast, wow.
I'll be right back.
I hate it when that happens. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by Century 21, the world's #1 real estate sales organization. The ballpark in Arlington. I'm John Miller with Joe Morgan. Welcome to our telecast on this Mother's Day, 1998. And there is Mike Hargrove, who is a native of Texas, grew up in Perryton, Texas, and began his career with the Texas Rangers back in 1974. He made his major league debut. Here's his batting order. The Pepsi starting lineup for the Cleveland Indians. Kenny Lofton leads off center field. Omar Vizquel is at shortstop. Manny Ramirez in right field batting third. Jim Thome, the slugger, first base hitting cleanup. Sandy Alomar, the catcher, batting fifth. Brian Giles in left field. It will be David Bell at second base hitting seventh, and he has had a hot bat for them, as well as giving them some solid defense at second base. Jeff Branson at third base hitting eighth, and Sean Dunston is the designated hitter, with David Justice having to be a late scratch with some back problems. And on the mound for the Rangers, the veteran right-hander John Burkett. You talk about a guy struggling. He is really struggling big time.
Well, John, I think part of his problem has been that he's lost some velocity on his fastball. He used to be able to get ahead of hitters with his fastball and then get them to chase the splitter. And the splitter's only effective if it's thrown hard. You get hitters to chase out of the zone. He has not been able to do that, but he still tries to throw first pitch fastballs, and that's been getting him in a lot of trouble lately. We'll see if he changes that pattern in tonight's ball game.
John Burkett, who struggled at times last year. He was 9-12, but with a 4.56 ERA, and he gave up 240 hits in 189 innings last year. Kenny Lofton back in the American League with Cleveland. Bluffs the bunt, takes low for ball one, and we are underway at the ballpark in Arlington. And Joe, here it is, our 9th Mother's Day, and we're spending it with each other again.
Again.
And we're sick of it.
And you see they're in tight at third base and on first base for Lofton.
Fernando Tatis very shallow at third, and that one is right to Will Clark. And Lofton is promptly retired. One away.
And let's take a look at the defense. Kevin Elster back in Texas. He had a great year here 2 years ago. Drove in 99 runs, but he's not hitting as well. But he's also he's playing great defense, and that's what this Texas team is all about. They're a very good defensive ball club. And there's Kevin Elster at shortstop.
That was one of the secrets of their success 2 years ago, as Omar Vizquel takes a called strike, and last year it was one of the reasons behind their demise, as they played very poor defense again. And the count now to Vizquel, 1 ball, 1 strike. But they're second in the league right now, behind only the expansion Tampa Bay Devil Rays for errors and defensive percentage. That's a strike on the outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And one thing Burkett can count on, if somebody does reach base with excellent speed, they'll have to think twice before they attempt to steal a base, with Ivan Rodriguez back at the plate. The Rangers have thrown out more attempting to steal than who have actually succeeded in stealing against them this year. Rodriguez is just a great weapon behind the plate. 3-2 the count to Vizquel. Ramirez on deck. That is a high pop-up foul. And back in amongst the spectators. The stands really come out close to the field. There is not very much foul territory, especially on that first base side. That first base area is kind of reminiscent of the seats that run right along the left field line behind third base at Fenway Park. Here it's behind first base.
Well, this is a good hitter's ballpark in that perspective. There's not a lot of foul territory. for them to run down your pop-up. But Will Clark was telling me you really have to hit the ball to get it out of here.
Blue to third. Tatis makes the catch.
You can see the difference there in that at bat with John Burkett. He got out in front of Vizquel, and then he did not throw another strike, and he had Vizquel swinging at pitches out of the zone. But his problem has been that they will not let him get ahead. They've been jumping on his pitches because he's known to throw strikes. He really has not walked a lot of hitters in 40 innings, 40-plus innings. He's only walked 13, so he's still throwing strikes. He's just not getting away with it.
Burkett, 33 years of age, as he faces Manny Ramirez. A little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. Johnny Oates, his ball club out in first place atop the league, but they've been through their first little down period here. It's a changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. They've won the last 2 games against Cleveland, but only after losing 6 of their previous 7. And they've gone into the stretch of the schedule where they've been playing the Red Sox, the Yankees, and now Cleveland. And they're right in the middle of that stretch right here. That's a foul ball.
And John, a lot of people felt that they were playing so well because they were not playing the top teams, and they have not played really well against the top teams. So they're going to have to turn it up a notch if they're going to stay in first place and continue the pace that they were on.
Last weekend they lost 2 out of 3 at Boston, and this week at home they lost 2 in a row to the Yankees, and they lost the first game of the series to Cleveland. And Burkett, he wants those pitches right around that spot there. Those borderline pitches. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he knows that his key is trying to keep the ball down and get the ball to sink. Try to get him to hit the ground ball.
Ramirez with a pop-up to Will Clark. It's a 3-up and 3-down inning for John Burkett. And now young Jaret Wright will take the hill to face the Rangers when we come back.
Wendy's introduces the most delicious combination ever put in a chicken sandwich. Our new honey ham and chicken.
Chicken just doesn't get any better than this.
Come on. What are you waiting for?
There are hundreds of lawnmowers to choose from, with a broad range of quality features designed to meet your needs. But the ones that have the edge to do the job right have one feature in common: a powerful, high-performance Briggs & Stratton engine. Make sure your lawnmower is powered by Briggs & Stratton, the power in power equipment.
Hey, my name is Rick, but everyone calls me The Rick. Yeah, so this ivy was growing over the wall at Wrigley, so I grabbed it, and now I'm raising it here in my room. As you can see, it's growing more towards Andre Dawson than Kurt Bavacqua. Now, a lot of people would see this as a case of it favoring a right fielder with a .482 lifetime slugging percentage than a utility player with 275 RBIs. But what they don't realize is Bavacqua smashed into the ivy chasing down a fly ball off of Sandberg back in '83. Ivy doesn't forget something like that.
John Miller and Joe Morgan, ESPN Sunday Night Baseball from Arlington, the ballpark in Arlington. Here is the batting order for Johnny Oates' Texas Rangers, the Pepsi Rangers batting order. It'll be Tom Goodwin leading it off in center field, and he was off to a sensational start, although with his ball club the last week or so, he's tailed off. Luis Alicea at second, giving Mark McLemore some rest. Rusty Greer in left field. Juan Gonzalez, he's red hot in right field. Will Clark also hitting the long ball lately at first base. Ivan Rodriguez, the catcher. Lee Stevens, another long ball threat, the DH. Elster at short. Fernando Tatis is at third, and here is Goodwin now against the hard-throwing young right-hander Jaret Samuel Wright, 22 years of age, from Anaheim. See that ERA up above 6, so we know he struggled a little bit early on this year.
Well, there you see his numbers: 42 base hits in 37 innings.
7 home runs, so about 1 homer for every 5 innings he's pitched.
And the other thing, John, last year he did not have a real low earned run average. I mean, he was winning ball games, but he had an earned run average of over 4.
Ooh, that was a close one.
And And the Cleveland Indians really were not expecting him to even be in the big leagues last year, and they were expecting, you know, about the middle of the season this year to come in and be one of their top pitchers. So he's still ahead of schedule as far as the Indians are concerned. But because he made such a big splash last year and started the 7th game of the World Series, they expected him to get off to a good start this year. But he's got to develop another pitch. He's been working on a changeup, but he needs more than just the fastball.
And he strikes out Goodwin, who may well have swung his ball 4 there.
But that's the thing that he did last year, John. Whenever he got ahead, he threw the high fastball, and that made him very difficult for hitters to handle. But this year, left-handed hitters have been just wearing him out. And part of that's because he doesn't have a pitch to get them out with other than the good fastball.
Jaret Wright now to face Luis Alicea. Wright was the 10th overall draft choice in the 1994 June draft. And that draft choice was owned by the Cleveland Indians. He pitched 2 times in the World Series last October. Won one of the games, also pitched Game 7. Pitched well enough to have won it. Ended up with no decision. And had a 2.92 ERA. In the World Series, also had 2 victories in the Division Series. And Cleveland upended the New York Yankees. That's really where he kind of emerged, I think, in the national stage. Overall, had 3 wins and no losses last year in the postseason.
John, you can see the difference in the way he's pitching here. He threw 2 high fastballs to Alicea. He laid off them. But if you get ahead in the count, they have to swing at those pitches.
3-1 the count. And ball 4. Alicea is aboard with 1 away.
Now let's take a look at the Cleveland defense that is stationed behind Jaret Wright. Omar Vizquel is as good as it gets at shortstop. I mean, he's flashy, but he does the job day in and day out. And he has 68 consecutive games without an error. Cal Ripken has the record at 95, I believe. Yeah, there it is. And Kevin Elster, of course, in this ball game as well, 88 when he was with the New York Mets.
Rusty Greer. And it's ball 1. Now, Greer is one of the rare Rangers to have gotten out to a slow start this year. He's started hitting the ball well lately to raise his average up to 262. Alicea at first. No steals this year. Tomey on the bag with him. No score in the game. And Greer chasing that high fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
If he can get the hitters to chase the fastball up around the letters, he can get away with just throwing the fastball. But if they make him bring the ball down, he will need more than 1 speed to get these good Texas hitters out.
Rusty Greer. And he's late on that fastball again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Greer came into this year with a lifetime .312 batting average and has hit better than .300 the last 2 years in a row. .321 last year, .332 the year before. And he was one of those guys, Joe, that in the interleague games that the National League players, you know, they hadn't heard about him and they were really impressed. He was one of the guys that really opened some eyes in the other league. Greer, in the 2nd interleague game that the Rangers played, hit a game-winning home run against the San Francisco Giants in this ballpark. 2-2 the count. Alicea at first, 1 out. Into left center field. Giles on the run. He's going to have to go chase it. Alicea coming around third. He's going to score easily. A double for Greer. 1-0 Texas.
Well, Johnny Oates said he is not worried about Rusty Greer. He knows that he will hit, although he had been struggling lately. But he's starting to swing the bat well. And it's kind of difficult at this time of the evening to see the ball. Sunlight in front of home plate, but you see he's a little late on it. Goes to left center field, finds the gap, and Luis Alicea comes around to score the first run of the ball game.
Rusty Greer with only his 3rd double of the year. He hit over 40 doubles in each of the last 2 years. Now here is Juan Gonzalez with an RBI opportunity. The slider, ball one. I mean, Gonzalez has 45 RBIs in only 34 games. And with the runners in scoring position, he is hitting .364.
Well, the good RBI men, their eyes light up when they get runners in scoring position.
So now that batting average is very good with men in scoring position. That's excellent. On the other hand, to be as hot as he is, way over an RBI per game, it tells you that he's had a lot of men in scoring position this year.
Well, that's true, but last year he did the same thing. He seems to drive in more runs than games played. So they're getting on base for him. And if they're not, he just hits it out of the ballpark.
Drives himself in a lot, too, yeah. On the strike in the outside. 2-1 to Gonzalez.
One thing about driving in runs, guys being able to hit in the third, fourth, and fifth slot. There's a mentality that goes with being an RBI man. You can't just plug anyone into those positions. They have to want it. They have to relish that position. They have to get excited with runners in scoring position, and Gonzalez definitely does that.
Greer in scoring position. Gonzalez, left center field. Giles on the run. Nice catch. Rusty Greer back to second. Juan Gonzalez has an RBI taken away from him by Brian Giles.
Well, it didn't seem like he hit that ball as well as he did, John, because it sounded a little funny. I thought he got it out toward the end, and that's why it didn't carry. Giles with a great jump on it, gets over into left center field, makes a dive, and that's a tough play for a left-handed outfielder, for a left-handed left fielder, I should say. He's got a backhanded on the run. Nice play there by Giles. Much easier play for a right-handed left fielder there.
2 down, and here is the veteran Will Clark. And his 6 home runs have all come in the last 16 games. Base hit down the left field line. And that will get Greer home. So Clark picks up an RBI that Gonzalez had left out there. And the Rangers are showing off that offense right now, flexing their muscles, and out to a 2-0 lead as Mark Wiley, the Cleveland pitching coach, will go out and talk to his young right-hander, Jaret Wright.
I think he wants to talk to him. John, he's thrown nothing but really hard stuff to these hitters. You can't do that with these good hitters. Will Clark takes a low and away fastball, flips it over to third baseman's head, and he gets a run batted in here. These good hitters will jump on your fastball. You've got to mix your speeds just to get them off of your fastball. I mean, if they sit up there looking dead red, they can hit anybody's fastball.
You know, and I like the approach there by Will Clark, too, because Will Clark, from all reports, has started hitting the ball with power again. Right. 6 homers, including a couple of tape measure jobs in there. He's pulled the ball. But this is a spot where he knows just a base hit gets the job done. And he didn't fool around trying to launch one 500 feet on the first pitch. I mean, he went right away.
Well, John, you said it when you said it all when you said the point. He's a veteran. He knows what he's supposed to do now. When he first came up, he was will to thrill. He went for a lot of thrills. Now he's a veteran. He does his job. He knows what is called for in certain situations, and that's what he does.
Now, Ivan Pudge Rodriguez. He's hitting .405, best in the American League. And that is ball 1. Rodriguez moved down into more of an RBI spot in the order. Last year, Johnny Oates had him hitting, in fact, the last 2 years, had him hitting second in front of the big sluggers. Now he's in there with the sluggers. Back to the screen, and might have gotten one of our microphones, Joe. I hope that wasn't yours.
It's interesting the way the Cleveland Indians play Rodriguez. They're actually playing him to pull in the outfield and playing him pretty much straight away on the infield. Rodriguez really aims everything toward right field. It seems to me that Bell should be playing him more like a left-handed hitter rather than a right-handed pull hitter. Look at Lofton in center field. He's playing the left side, and everyone else is pulled around.
Breaking ball. Got that one up.
Unless that's the point right there, they're going to throw him a lot of breaking balls and change-ups. Because if you throw him fastballs even inside, he will inside out them and hit the balls to right field.
The next base hit for Ivan Rodriguez will be his 1,000th base hit, which is pretty good, considering he's only 26 years old.
Be the fastest ever for a catcher to get to 1,000 RBIs. Johnny Bench has that record now.
Down he goes. Chased the bad one there. 2 strikeouts for Wright, but 2 runs on the board for the Rangers. Jim Thome coming up. 2-0 Texas.
Cedar, pine.
Every new employee at Flood goes to My Little Wood School.
Hey, it's fun! It's mandatory.
Wood is porous, like a bunch of straws. That's why we have to protect the inside, too.
At Flood, we've created a whole line of great wood care products by creating a whole company of wood care experts.
Oak, pine, cedar, redwood.
Okay, to protect and beautify wood. Anybody?
CWFUV.
I knew that one.
Flood, how wood should be treated.
Germany, a country about twice the size of Wisconsin. Remarkably, it produces 3 of the world's finest automobiles. One of them is the new 200 horsepower 30-valve A6 from Audi. It fits quite nicely between the other 2, the A4 and the A8, also from Audi.
On today's rough roads, if you ever need to stop quickly, consider replacing your worn shock absorbers. It can be like getting an extra 10 feet of road when you need it most. Replace your worn shocks with new Monroe Sensatrack, now with SafeTech. Unlike worn shocks, Sensatrack helps hold your tire to the road. Tests show you can stop an average of 10 feet sooner, and that can make a big difference. Monroe Sensatrack, making the road a safer place.
Why is America on America Online?
The internet, email, instant messages.
No more computer mumbo jumbo. AOL now offers more benefits, and we've spent over $500 million to triple capacity.
If I can do it, anyone can.
So easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
I run home every day after school. I go to the woods near my house. Not a nice little run like, hi, Mom, I'm home from school. I'll pretend a pack of wolves is chasing me. My run home is 25 flights up to my apartment. 25 flights every day. I'll run over rocks. I'll run through mud. I just run for my life. Even though my legs are shaking, you can't stop. Till those wolves get tired and stop. I don't want to sit in the 4th quarter. Just like the 400. Running away from those wolves. This is my game.
Sunday Night Baseball from Arlington, Texas. Next Sunday, we will be in Toronto at the Sky Dome as the Toronto Blue Jays will be taking on Ken Griffey Jr. and the Seattle Mariners, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. We hope you'll join us. Every Sunday, you'll find us here. Same time, same network, with a Major League Baseball game for you. Jim Thome, this guy, he is putting up scary numbers now. He's put himself up among the premier sluggers in the game. He's hitting .368, 6 homers, 16 doubles, 27 batted in. John Burkett works to him. That one glances off the bat accidentally. Strike 2. The other thing is that Thome is very selective up there. You have to throw him, generally speaking, pretty good pitch. He won't chase one of those pitches up out of the strike zone. Last year, he saw more pitches on an average basis per at bat than anybody in baseball. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He had a great year last year. Well, he's always had good years, but he said he made an adjustment this spring that has really helped him this year, and that is he's bending at the knees just a little bit more, and he said it really helps him against left-handed pitchers to be able to see the ball and stay right on it.
2-2. And the changeup got him swinging.
Well, you see John Burkett doing a better job tonight of changing speeds. He is really changing speeds on a lot of different pitches. That's the straight change, so to speak. It goes down a little bit, but he's also changing up on the fastball, just the straight fastball, taking a little bit off, throwing 185 miles an hour, the next one 83.
Sandy Alomar, a strike to the outside. 0-1. John Burkett. In 1993 was a 22-game winner for the San Francisco Giants. And foul. He's not been able to put that kind of a year together since. Won 14 ball games in 1995 with the Florida Marlins. 11 with the Marlins and Rangers combined the next year, and only 9 last year. Right now, he's struggling. He has not been able to get as far as the 5th inning in 4 of his 7 starts.
John, I think it all has to do with velocity. I mean, he used to have a great splitter that he could throw when he got a hit, but the splitter is only effective if it's hard enough to make the hitters react very quickly. If they have time.
Right field. And Alomar is out, number 2. We're at the ballpark in Arlington. The new ballparks. And there is Vandergrift Plaza out behind the center field hitter's backdrop and in front of the office structure out there. That's the view from one of those office suites out in center field.
Where's the statue of the Nolan Ryan Express?
There's a changeup, 2 high, ball 1.
That's in front. Okay. All right, there he is.
Yeah, I saw you out there earlier trying to hit against him.
Well, I figured I could hit him if he's standing still.
Yeah, but he's just a statue, yeah. 2 balls and no strikes to Brian Giles. He's not a real big guy, but he's got some real pop. 8 homers, 25 driven in, and he's only had 77 at-bats.
Well, he's going to get some at-bats now, John, because he's going to be playing a lot. Geronimo Barroa is on the disabled list, and he's going to play against both left-handers and right-handers. He and Barroa were platooning, but now he's going to be the everyday left fielder, and they signed hard-hitting Mark Whitten to take Barroa's place while he's on the disabled list.
3-1. 3-2. He's another guy who's not afraid to take a pitch, Joe. 77 at-bats, but he also has 26 walks. 1 out of every 4 plate appearances this year, he has drawn a walk. The shortstop, Elster, juggles it, recovers, and that's the inning. Now that's 6 in a row, retired by Burkett. The Rangers lead Cleveland 2-0 as we go to the last half of the second.
It takes a lot of stuff to get through a day, and New Jersey Online has more New Jersey stuff than anyone. Classified stuff, like thousands of jobs, car stuff, and where to buy more stuff. Entertainment stuff, like what stuff is there to do tonight. Sports stuff, like your kids' soccer league stuff or talking stuff about the Yankees. Community stuff, like what stuff is the town in. Yucky stuff, Yellow Pages stuff, where and how much is this stuff. There's all kinds of useful stuff at www.nj.com, your website for all the stuff you need to know about the stuff in New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Ed Leiden, candidate for mayor. This beautiful building is one of the few remaining that reflects the Ocean City you and I revere and love. Why? Because the current administration managed property tax by the needless demolition of historic homes. 274 fell in 1997, with hundreds to follow. They'll be replaced by investment properties that feed the greed of a few and destroy our heritage and neighborhood integrity. Elect Ed Leiden for mayor and fairness for all. Column 3, May 12th. We'll work for you, just not the chosen few.
My twin brother David was killed in a car accident in rural Wisconsin and was instantly brain dead. And our family got a phone call probably about an hour after it happened. We had talked about organ donation. Actually, my brother was the one that had brought it up, knowing that those were his wishes. It wasn't scary. It wasn't a big deal. It just seemed like the right thing to do. So it was sort of like the most fitting tribute that, you know, his death, the final comment wasn't his death. It was that, you know, it was life. It was life affirming.
This weekend, they're not after the checkered flag, the winner's circle, or the admiration of millions of fans. Time is the enemy, and speed, their only ally. The battle for pole position, Indy 500 time trials, Saturday at 2 on ESPN, 5:30 on ESPN2.
Rangers 2, Cleveland 0 in the last of the second inning. And Jaret Wright, who struggled in the first inning as the Rangers put 2 runs up on the board. Will come up with Lee Stevens, Kevin Elster, and Fernando Tatis. Lee Stevens, big, strong, left-handed slugger, was always considered a disappointment. And they've become a journeyman. Never been able to consistently hit with power or with even any kind of success at all. And then last year, Will Clark, some time in the disabled list, and Lee Stevens got red hot and ended up getting a lot of at-bats during the season and had his best year. The Rangers found themselves an effective diamond in the rough. He's got 9 home runs this year, and the ball just jumps off his bat. That one had plenty of distance to be a home run, but foul. He had 21 home runs last year for the Rangers and 426 at bats and hit 300 for them. All career highs, as you see. Is off to an even better start for power this year. Big, strong guy. 6 feet 4 inches tall. Wright misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Lee Stevens. Fouled it back, and the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now, this is a beautiful ballpark, John, and a great fan-friendly type ballpark. Players think the dimensions may be a little too big, but compared to all the other new ballparks.
Sometimes it depends which way the wind is blowing here. Oftentimes, when the wind is blowing in off the prairie straight into the park from right field, ironically, and it is not doing that tonight, the ball will jump out of here to right field. Stevens, the shortstop. Vizquel, as always, handles it flawlessly. At the end of the first inning, pitching coach Mark Wiley is wearing a microphone, visited with Jaret Wright.
We'll show them some breaking balls, change speeds, and when you get them set back a little bit, bust them in. All right? You're slow yourself down just a little bit. Come on, let's go right now.
And John, that's basically what I was talking about when I said he can't just stand out there and throw fastball. He has to change speeds to get some of these hitters off of that dead red fastball that they're sitting on.
And that, of course, was during the first inning.
And I'm glad Mark noticed that. Because that's his job, right?
Yeah. That's why he gets the big bucks.
That's why he gets the big buck.
Kevin Elster. Jaret Wright changed speeds there very nicely.
Well, he did a great job with Lee Stevens, the last hitter. 2-2, he threw him a changeup, then came back with a fastball. Lee took a big cut at the 2-2 fastball, but after he threw him a changeup, he only reached out and poked a little ground ball to shortstop. That keeps these hitters off balance.
Back with the fastball, and that's foul. And out of play.
Once you notice, if he throws a changeup or a breaking ball, and then he throws a fastball, you watch how often these hitters are behind it. He threw him a changeup, and then he came with a fastball. He fouled it off to the right side. Stevens was the same way. If you change speeds on them, make them wait a little longer, then the fastball will get on top of them. But if they can just sit on the fastball, they can have their field day swinging at you.
Broke his back. Right, still plenty of time to recover. And Elster is gone. 2 down. So we're seeing a little different Jaret Wright here in the second inning than we saw in the first.
And a lot of times, John, when you start off the ball game, especially when you're a young kid like Jaret Wright, I mean, you just want to, you're a little nervous and you have a lot of nervous energy and you go out there and you want to throw. And a lot of times you overthrow. And, Mark Wiley went out and talked to him when he was on the mound in the first inning. And I'm sure he followed that conversation up with another reminder before he came back out here for the second inning. And you see a different Jaret Wright here in the second inning.
Fernando Tatis, and he looks at a first pitch changeup.
That's amazing. See, I mean, if you're a hitter sitting on the bench and you see this, now all of a sudden you start to think, well, I got to look for more than one pitch now, or one speed.
Tatis, 23 years of age. We saw him when he first broke into the major leagues last July in Chicago. He hit a home run against Danny Darwin then with the White Sox. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He was struggling, John, and they took 5 days off, he and Rudy Jaramillo, and they worked on just mechanics. They tried to quicken him up inside. He's been having trouble with the fastballs and off-speed pitches away, but the fastball inside has been wearing him out, and they were trying to quicken his swing. So he just took 5 days just to work on mechanics, forgetting about playing in the ballgame. They were just working every day as long as they could. And now they're putting him back in there to find out if he is their third baseman of the future and the guy that they can count on for the remainder of the season.
He has not hit a home run this year. And that ball will come straight back toward the press box. 3-2 the count. He's had 86 at-bats, 2 doubles, and no homers.
There's Rudy. He's the hitting instructor for the Texas Rangers. He was a hitting instructor for the Houston Astros for a while.
Jaramillo, Johnny Oates staff. That is a foul. Rudy, a native of Texas.
So am I.
Well, you and Rudy.
Yeah.
Just a couple of good old boys.
Well, when you said prairie a few minutes ago, blowing across the prairie, trying to remind me when I was a kid.
High drive deep down the right field line, slicing into the corner and foul. Now that was home run distance, but he could not make it stay fair.
But you notice that was a 3-2 pitch, and he's behind the fastball because he's seen a few off-speed pitches.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Tatis. 2 down, nobody on here in the second inning. The Rangers lead 2-0 over Cleveland. Tom Goodwin, the leadoff man, would be next. And it's a walk for Tatis. So the second walk allowed by Wright, and it keeps the inning going. Coming up on Wednesday night, a big Major League Baseball doubleheader. The Atlanta Braves, and they are playing extremely well of late. They won another ball game today, and they're hitting home runs like crazy. Every game for the last 22 games, they've hit at least 1 home run. Chipper Jones and Mark McGwire will match up, 2 of the big sluggers in the National League at 7:30 Eastern. Then the Mets and the Padres. John Olerud will go for the Mets against Tony Gwynn of the Padres. See Mark McGwire already with 13 home runs. Number 13, by the way, was his 400th lifetime. And he's walked 40 times already. He may end up with the all-time Major League record for walks in a season.
And that's none other than the Babe. Babe had 170.
Well, it would certainly be fitting if he went for the record for walks the year he went for the home run record.
Well, they don't go hand in hand. If he sets a walk record, I don't believe he'll have enough at bats to break the home run record.
Well, I mean, if he's going to hit all these home runs, Joe, he's going to walk.
And there is, if they walk him, he's not going to hit all the home runs. So which comes first, the chicken or the egg?
But now the Babe hit him.
But he didn't. Yeah, the Babe was the Babe, man.
Well, this is
why they called him the Babe.
Boy, he's Big Mac. Good with the left field. And Giles takes it. 1 man left for Texas. Rangers are leading 2-0 after 2. Stay with us. We'll be back.
There's a company out there in the business of moving things. It's not a trucking company or a shipping company, and it doesn't carry packages overnight. It's a company in the business of moving ideas. What's the name of this company? Well, here's a hint. The first letter is G. And the company is one you might have thought was just a telephone company. GTE. The people of GTE have built a company that now goes far beyond the telephone. We're people moving ideas via long distance, wireless, video, internet, directories, and local telephone lines.
People moving ideas.
That's what we do at GTE. That's who we are. We're people moving ideas.
GTE.
GTE.
This century has seen only 7 Wheaties champions. Athletes who defined an era. Athletes who changed the game. Say hello to number 8. Introducing Tiger Woods, a new generation of Wheaties champion.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by Wheaties, the breakfast of champions. Here's the view from outside the ballpark in Arlington, and the Rangers lead the Indians 2-0 in the top of the third. The lake that's just outside the ballpark, they'll have a ceremony here in the next few days to name the lake officially Mark Holtz Lake. in honor of the outstanding former voice of the Texas Rangers, Mark Holtz, who died tragically last year of a rare illness. And I think it's a very nice tribute to Mark Holtz, who is still missed very much by Ranger fans all over the great Southwest. And he was a great broadcaster and a good friend. And it's a void whenever you come down here now and you don't get to exchange pleasantries with Mark Holtz. And we miss him very much. And we're glad to hear about the naming of the lake. Mark Holtz Lake, just outside the ballpark here in Arlington. David Bell, the hitter, 1 ball, 1 strike as he faces John Burkett. Burkett has retired the first 6 men of the game. Now, keep in mind, Burkett has had stretches this year where he's pitched every bit as well as he's pitched so far tonight. And then it has all come undone at once. He's been victimized repeatedly by the big inning. And it started opening day. And the count goes to 2-2. He pitched 4 perfect innings against the White Sox. And then gave up 7 runs the next inning. And he has had some problems with that.
Well, he doesn't have a pitch that he can use to dominate the hitters anymore. Like he had the great sinker and the good splitter, but they had good velocity. He doesn't have that velocity anymore, so if he misses his spots, he can get hit consistently, and that's been his problem.
Burkett, who also, in addition to being a big league pitcher, loves to bowl. That's a foul out of play. He's had 5 different 300 games bowling, Joe. I mean, how many have you had?
Probably 3. As total, I probably had all the games I bowled add up to 300 maybe.
Well, he's had 5 times, but this past winter he had a series, and I believe that's 3 games.
Yes.
He rolled 805 for 3 games, and that's the best he's ever done. Strike 3 call on the outside, and Bell was headed to first base. But not this time.
That's one of those location pitches. He did not overpower him. He just made a good pitch to the spot, and Bell could not handle it. And strike 3.
Jeff Branson with a ground ball to short. Elster throws him out. 8 in a row retired by Burkett to start this game. Branson has gone on 1 pitch, and now Sean Dunston will come up. When whenever Burkett has a chance to get to St. Louis, the Bowling Hall of Fame is right across the street from Busch Stadium, and that's where you'll find it, over at the Bowling Hall of Fame. And Burkett regards it as a shrine.
Well, I think of the Baseball Hall of Fame as a shrine, so if you're participating in those sports, I guess you would think that way.
I think he's going to go for another career when his baseball playing days are over. I mean, he says that bowling is his passion. Baseball he enjoys, but it's his job.
But you have to love this game.
Well, he loves it, but bowling is his passion. Dunston hit hard, but right to Tatis. And Burkett is 1/3 of the way onto a 300 game, or the baseball equivalent. Juan Gonzalez coming up 3rd.
How do you separate knowledge from noise? Call Invesco. 38 no-load funds, 65 years experience, a global perspective. You should know what Invesco knows.
So Nicoderm CQ's working for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing just fine, cold turkey.
Oh, well, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
Take a break?
Oh, nice one. Come on, you know we quit. Oh, wait, I'm coming.
Jack, no.
Just 1 cigarette.
No.
Why are you so calm?
Because I got help. CQ, a 24-hour stream of medicine that's always with you, even when you first wake up. Helps calm the cravings, my friend.
All right.
Nicoderm CQ, the power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
When sports cream, when legs are sore, when backs ache,
when muscles hurt. Wise Sports Cream, rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Wise Sports Cream, because it works.
Seems I'm late for our little reception. No worries. I'm driving this new Subaru Outback. Shortcut. It's got full-time all-wheel drive, like my other Outback, so I can take it almost anywhere, like my other Outback. In fact, there's only one difference, really. Matilda. It's got this stylish rear end to go with her. Nice front. The all-new Outback Sport Utility Sedan from Subaru.
I finally got the job as a Jimmy Page Robert Plant roadie. Awesome.
Best Buy presents the 1998 Page Plant Tour. Best Buy. Now that's a great idea.
So where to next, guys?
Sunday Night Baseball from Texas. We go to the last of the third. The Rangers up at the top of their order now. Luis Alicea, the second place hitter, then Rusty Greer, followed by Juan Gonzalez. Will Clark would be due up fourth. 2-0. The Rangers already ahead. They got 2 first-inning runs. A rally started when Alicea walked against Jaret Wright. First ball swinging. A foul along the left field line and in amongst the spectators down there. Now, tonight, the catchers are wearing mask cam. Here's a look at that last pitch.
And that gives you an interesting perspective what the hitter sees. You see that bright sunlight in the background, and then it's dark right there around home plate. The lights have not taken hold yet, so that you have the brightness that you like as a hitter.
Curveball. Nice. Sandy Alomar wearing a mask cam there, and also Ivan Rodriguez consented to wearing it, so our sincere appreciation to both of them for allowing us to take our viewers right down there behind home plate. And the play is made at first by Bell, and Alicea is the first out.
I mean, it's so interesting to me, John, to see Jaret Wright start the ball game the way he was pitching with all hard stuff. Gave up 2 runs, and now to see how he has pitched the last 1 in the 3rd inning. I mean, he is changing speeds, moving the ball around. I mean, he is a pitcher out there now instead of a thrower.
Rusty Greer. He doubled home a run his first time.
Starts him off with a changeup. You have to have a lot of confidence in your changeup to start a hitter off with one, because they haven't seen a speed, so they just look for the ball.
That's a base hit. Came back with a fastball. He jumped right on it.
Well, the one thing you have to remember, we talked about this earlier, is Rusty Greer is a smart hitter, a good hitter, and he gets this fastball down and in. Let's take a look at Juan Gonzalez on bat track. This was his first at bat. He had a line drive to left center field. Now, he has a kind of a long swing, so you see he doesn't generate as much bat speed as, say, a Ken Griffey Jr. does, but because he's so strong and he has a longer swing, he just generates tremendous power. To me, you have to drive the ball, you have to have real good bat speed, or you have to be real strong, and he is real strong.
Gonzalez was robbed of extra bases on a diving catch by Brian Giles in left center his first time. Slider, a called strike on the outside.
The one thing that I like about Gonzalez also is that he has tremendous plate coverage, John. He goes to the ball with his upper body. A lot of hitters do not do that. I mean, he strides in just about the same spot every time, but his upper body goes right to where the pitch is. If it's away, he goes and gets it.
And he chased the curveball. That was a nice pitch by Jaret Wright.
Well, we've just seen a difference in Jaret Wright, and I mean, all of a sudden he is just doing everything he wants. That's a straight overhand curveball, and that's nasty, because you do not see that many of those from him. He has not thrown the overhand curveball very often.
1-2 the count. Now the fastball, and Gonzalez gets a base in. Juggled out there, but holding at second is Greer.
Well, you can say what you want about, you know, pitchers making mistakes or whatever, but that was just good hitting there by Gonzalez. I mean, just watch him. He just goes to right field with it. He doesn't try to pull this. Now watch the pitches away. Look where he goes. With his upper body. See where he goes? He goes right to the ball. That's what makes him such a tremendous hitter. And he just drives it to right field for a base hit.
So Gonzalez, 1 for 2. That was interesting. He threw him a slider, a curveball, and then at 0-2. Then he threw him the fastball, and Gonzalez was right on it. Here's Will Clark.
I think if he had that pitch to throw all over again, he would throw it inside, John. If you throw the 0-2 fastball inside, even if you miss, it serves a purpose. And when you throw it up and out over the plate, you have to depend on the hitter pulling off, and Gonzalez didn't pull off.
Will Clark drove in a run with a single to left his first time. And Wright again throws in the curve, and he is behind now, 2-0. Suddenly, all of the hitters are seeing first and second pitch breaking balls from Jaret Wright.
And that's fine as long as you can throw one of the two over the plate.
Now Will Clark is sitting fastball all the way. Well, he came down and in with it. Ball to strike. Will Clark shoots a glance at Dale Scott, the plate umpire.
Yeah, Will thought that pitch was inside because he was looking fastball, but it was inside, he thought, off the plate, but Dale Scott says it's got the inside corner.
22-year-old right-handed Jaret Wright facing Will Clark. 2-1 the count. And that one called a strike again on the inside. 2-2 the count with 2 on and 1 out. Rusty Greer at second base. Juan Gonzalez the runner at first base. The Rangers lead 2-0 already. Jaret Wright, who, when Will Clark broke into the big leagues and homered in his first big league at bat against Nolan Ryan, Jaret Wright was 10 years old. And the hard spider in the dirt, blocked by Sandy Alomar. 3-2 now. Ivan Rodriguez, the league's leading hitter, is on deck. You start the runners if you're Johnny Oates here?
Well, it depends on how you think Jaret Wright's control is, and he seems to be around the plate. You're never afraid to start the runners with Will Clark. Just a matter of how you feel Wright's going to be in the strike zone or near the strike zone.
Runners are not going. Clark fouls one back and out of play. Still 3-2.
You're not afraid to do it because you think Will Clark will strike out. You're just not sure if he will swing a bad pitch because the runners are running.
Johnny Oates flashing a sign over to Jerry Narron, his third base coach. Dick Bosman, the pitching coach, right alongside there. Here's Rusty Greer. He's the lead runner at second. Juan Gonzalez gets his lead from first. 3-2 to Clark. Runners again holding, and Clark draws the walk. The bases are loaded with 1 out for Ivan Rodriguez. Although he was handled pretty well his first at bat, Joe.
Well, he helped Wright out a little bit. Throw him a breaking ball, fastball. That was the pitch he should have hit. Another hanging curveball and a good high fastball. That is not a good pitch to hit. He had 2 good pitches to hit. He fouled them back, and then he chased one up and out of the zone.
Now Mark Wiley again out to the mound to talk to young Jaret Wright. Now, unlike those hitters in the other hitters in the first inning who saw all fastballs, he did, as we just saw, start Rodriguez with the breaking ball the first time.
But that was after a visit.
Yeah.
So,
but now he's been starting everybody with breaking balls or changeups.
And it's a good point. Maybe Wiley's saying to him, well, you know, don't fall in love with first pitch changeup or a breaking ball. You know, you can, but I just don't want you to throw all fastballs, but I don't want you to get in a pattern of starting everyone off with an off-speed pitch.
Well, Wright has faced 14 batters, and 7 of them have reached base against him. And we're in an early crossroads in this ball game. The Rangers have a chance now to really jump well ahead. Bases loaded, 1 out. The league's leading hitter at the plate. And he tries the breaking ball, and he's behind in the count.
Yeah, that was not a very good attempt at a breaking ball there.
Greer at third. Gonzalez now at second. Will Clark at first.
I don't think he was convinced that that was the pitch he wanted to throw.
Didn't have the conviction.
No.
Well, it was a better one, but would have looked real good maybe on a 2-strike count.
Well, now you dig yourself a little hole because not only do you have to go 2-0 fastball, you just about have to go 2-1 fastball. So if you're Rodriguez, you can sit dead red for 2 straight pitches.
And we know he can hit him. He's hitting over 400 for the year. Well, he threw in a good spot there, jammed him.
Well, he helped him out a little bit. That pitch was off the plate, but you know, Rodriguez is not really, you know, patient. He's an aggressive hitter, and he had a 2-0 fastball and he fouled it back, but it was off the plate inside.
Rangers already leading 2-0. Ivan Rodriguez, the bases loaded here, trying to do some serious damage to Jaret Wright and the Indians. Third base side, and that is foul. Wasn't fouled by much. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Rodriguez had him in a hole 2-0, and he got the 2 fastballs, but he chased the first one out of the zone, and this one is borderline. So Wright has been able to get back to even by throwing 2 fastballs. Now you have to have an open line if you're the hitter Rodriguez, because you say, well, he can throw me a breaking ball.
There is bullpen activity going for Cleveland meanwhile. We're only in the 3rd. 1 out, 3 men on. 2-2 the count. The slider, strike 3 call.
And that was a magnificent pitch, John, because as I said, he had to give him 2 fastballs. He did, but when he comes back with just a perfectly executed, and this off speed, this is a little slider. Look at that. Off speed toward the outside corner. I mean, that is a veteran pitcher's pitch right there, John, not, you know, a young kid like Jaret Wright. So great pitch there from Jaret.
Another tough hitter, though, Lee Stevens. He grounded a short his first time. And a foul up the first base side. So now he actually has started ahead of a hitter here, which has not been the case for much of this inning. And they again started Lee Stevens with a breaking ball.
And the interesting thing about that pitch to Rodriguez, he shook Alomar off to get to that pitch. I thought he was shaking to get to the fastball, but he shook to get to the breaking ball.
And the windup, too high. Lee Stevens had tremendous power. There is Jason Rakers in the Cleveland bullpen. Young right-hander out of the minor leagues. Just in case. 3 on, 2 out. Oh, nice pitch. Backdoored him with a breaking ball.
Well, we're starting to say that more often, John. Nice pitch by Jaret Wright. But all the nice pitches are basically coming with a curveball. This is the over-the-top curveball. And the pitch he struck Rodriguez out was a 3/4 slider. Now this is where he's been really dominant by throwing the high fastball.
There it is. And an easy fly ball to the left. Brian Giles and the Rangers had him on the ropes. 3 men on, 1 out, and they could not get anybody home. Top of the order for Cleveland. Lofton will be coming up 2-0 Texas.
The crew's acting a little tense. Thought I'd loosen them up a bit. Hey guys, is your work guaranteed? Lifetime guarantee? What do you think this is, Dale? That GM Goodrich Service Plus?
Smart guy. Select GM dealers now give you a lifetime guarantee on parts and labor, plus upfront pricing, plus courtesy transportation. GM Goodrich Service Plus, like they say.
The plus means better!
Call for the Select GM dealer near you.
Maybe mounting that camera inside a baseball wasn't the best way to get a close-up of Larry Walker's batting gloves. Franklin carbon fiber batting gloves. The official batting glove of Major League Baseball.
Moscow, we have a problem.
I'm Ironhead Hayward, and I challenge you to try Zest Deodorant Body Wash.
But Ironhead, what's with this thingy?
That lather builder works with Zest Body Wash to give you twice the fresh-smelling lather of this bar, and it rinses cleaner.
But Ironhead...
Oh, quit crying and try it for a week. If Zest Body Wash doesn't give you cleaner, more refreshed skin than these, call 1-888-BEST-LATHER, and they'll buy you a bar of yours.
Zest Body Wash. Get cleaner, more refreshed.
Get zestfully clean.
Here's something you should never do with your eyeglasses unless they're made from Flexon. Even after bending and twisting, Flexon frames still look and fit great.
Feel free to fall asleep in your glasses. Feel free to squeeze your Flex-On frames. Feel free to kid around. Flex-On frames. Durable, comfortable, light. Ask for them by name. Flex-On by Marchon.
A magazine's success starts with the writers.
What's the scoop on McGuire? Are the home run records safe while that kid's got a bat in his hands? And give me a piece on Baker and Peyton. Find out how to keep their mojo working. And hockey. Get me some hockey. Print it, baby!
We played 3 innings. The Rangers lead Cleveland 2-0. And now the top of the order for the Cleveland Indians against John Burkett, who has been perfect. 40 pitches in 3 innings, 2 strikeouts, and nary a base runner allowed. So now he'll start through the Cleveland order for the 2nd time.
And Marty Aronoff asked me the question between innings. Says, do you think he'd rather pitch a perfect game in baseball or bowl a 300 game?
Yeah, but see, Marty always asks questions like that. Would you rather see a good love story on a date, or would you like to see an action-adventure movie by yourself? Right? I mean, he's always got questions like that. Forget that. Don't listen to him, Joe. Here's Kenny Lofton with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Oh, nice pickup by Will Clark right at the bag. And that ball was really smashed by Lofton.
I talked to Lofton before the game. He said, Joe, I'm swinging the bat well. I'm just not getting much out of it. I'm hitting it right at him, or they're making good plays. And this is a fine play by Clark. See how quickly he starts to his right, to his left, and makes the play? Will Clark, Gold Glove winner when he was with the Giants.
He's made only 1 error so far this year. Looked pretty quick on that one. Omar Vizquel now. Bluffing the bunt and a curve in there. Strike 1 call.
John, I want to correct something I said. That Pudge Rodriguez had 999 hits, not RBIs. I meant hits because Johnny Bench's record, he had his 1,000 hits 1 month later if Pudge gets his tonight, but he's been working on it for the last 2 days.
That is foul.
And the way Jaret Wright is pitching him tonight, he may have problems getting it. But his next hit will be his 1,000th big league hit.
Jaret Wright has struck him out twice in this game. Once he chased a pitch for strike 3 out of the strike zone. Another one he tried to be patient and take the slider, and he got called out. Right to Elster. Well, they've hit the ball real hard twice in a row and got nothing for it. Nothing to show for it. Coming up now, the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Tomorrow, the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers. And Mike Modano and the Stars, Doug Waite and the Oilers. That's 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, subject to the blackout. And that will be game 3 of their series. There's a called strike to Manny Ramirez, who popped out his first time. Also at 7 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, 4 Pacific, on ESPN 2, the Washington Caps will take on the Ottawa Senators. The Caps lead the series 2-0. Going to have to hurry his throw here from third base. Tatis, he's got a great arm. Ramirez retired. It's 12 in a row retired by Burkett. 2-0 Texas.
This is life. This is getting every mile you can out of life. And this is how you get there. Kelly Charger high-performance tires are engineered for long mileage. Of course, that's no guarantee you'll live harder or go farther. Just an invitation.
Why is America on America Online?
The internet, email, instant messages.
No more computer mumbo jumbo. AOL now offers more benefits, and we've spent over $500 million to triple capacity.
If I can do it, anyone can.
So easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
Beep, beep.
With its unique wide-track design, the wide-track Grand Prix Sports Sedan provides better cornering and control when you're out for a bite. The wide-track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better.
Time will definitely be on your side with an Armstrong air conditioner. Armstrong Air. Strength you can rely on.
It's Michael Johnson. It's fast but loud.
I'll be right back.
I hate it when that happens.
Sunset here in the great Southwest. Sunday night baseball as nightfall is indeed upon us, as Kevin Elster with a swinging strike one against Jaret Wright, and he started Elster with the heat. Elster hit a comeback for his first time. Fernando Tatis will follow, then leadoff man Tom Goodwin. And the count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Elster hit 24 home runs for Texas 2 years ago as the Rangers won their first divisional title and almost beat the Yankees in the divisional series. Yankees the eventual world champions. And the odds did not look good. I mean, Texas had them in the 9th inning of the ball game. Their one weakness that year really was in the bullpen, and it cost them finally. John Burkett's been perfect tonight for them as a starter. That is a foul ball picked up, or well, not picked up yet, over at third base by Jeff Branson. 2-2 the count.
John, this is the pitch that made Wright so effective last year in the playoffs. You see that ball really drop down right at home plate, and Elster hits the top of it. A good sinking fastball, along with the high riding fastball.
There's the curveball. That is whacked into shallow left center field, and nobody can get there. Elster's going to try for 2. Lofton's throw is there waiting. He's out.
Well, I didn't see it right away, but I know the 2 outfielders, they must have broken back or something, because that ball was high enough. He took a big swing at it, and it may have fooled the 2 outfielders. Here's Brian Giles trying to get there. He can't get there. Lofton trying to get there. Vizquel had the best shot at it. And you see Elster decides, well, I'm going for 2, but not a wise decision in that case.
David Bell applying the tag on the throw from Lofton. A single for Elster, thrown out from 8 to 4. 1 out, nobody on. Fernando Tatis. Ball 1. Tatis walked his first time. 9th place hitter in the order. Tatis is from the cradle of shortstops, San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. But he's a third base. He's got an arm where he can play shortstop, though, and then he has not homered this year. And the sharp breaking ball down and away. They brought him up from Double-A ball last year and hit 24 home runs in 102 games at Tulsa when they brought him up. And they really sort of looked at him as a stopgap measure, but he played real well for them. Struggling now. And the play made by Jeff Branson. Tatis is out number 2 in the 4th inning, and leadoff man Tom Goodwin is coming up. Tom Goodwin wanted us to send along his best wishes for a happy Mother's Day to his mom. And I asked him, Joyce, what, you can't call her? But he assured me that he had called her. So he called her just before batting practice when he knew that she was home from church. So he wanted to make sure it was a live Mother's Day greeting. He didn't want to just leave a message on her recorder. That's a good son.
Yes, it is. I'm going to be a good son, too, because I was waiting for my mom to get over to my sister's house. They're having dinner over at Linda's house today, and I want to wish my mom, Ollie Morgan, a happy Mother's Day back in Oakland, California.
Well, that's the 9th consecutive year you've done that right here on Sunday Night Baseball. Called a strike. 2 good one. He is 0 for 2 in the game.
Yeah, there they are.
Well, and there's Mom and the family. The curveball. Wow. Well, Wright has put things together here nicely the last 3 innings. We're going to the 5th inning. Jim Thome coming up. 2-0 Texas.
Hello, Bomb. Mercury switches with fiber alloy. This guy's high tech. We have to cut the ground wire. I'm gonna cut right now, standing by. Oh man, it's a decoy. We gotta cut now. We gotta cut. Where am I going?
What if you didn't have to worry about getting your blood pressure checked? Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Jersey.
Buying and selling stocks can cost you a bundle in commissions if you're trading with the wrong brokerage company. But you can cut the costs. Trade equities with stocks for less for only $8 per trade. Only $8 to trade equity shares using your computer through the Stocks for Less website. Only $8 to trade any listed or NASDAQ stock. Only $8 using any touch-tone phone. Only $8 for market orders. And there's no limit to the amount of shares you can buy or sell. Call 888-414-5377 or enter our website. Only $8 per trade.
Hush, little baby, why do you cry? Will all our friends catch AIDS and die? Is there AIDS on the windowsill? Will it kill Humpty and Jack and Jill? What if Mother Goose goes too? Or even worse, she gives it to you?
If you don't talk with your kids about AIDS, who knows what they'll imagine? Our free booklet can help.
The game of arms, legs, and feet, of force and finesse, where 9 men play 9 other men for 9 innings for just one reason: to come home one more time than the other guys. Major League Baseball. Don't miss a minute. Player stats, exclusive chats. The only way to get closer to the game is to be in the dugout. MajorLeagueBaseball.com. What a sight to see.
Sunday Night Baseball beneath a full moon in Arlington, Texas. 2-0 Rangers. We go to the 5th, and for Joe and myself, here we are together again on Mother's Day. Full moon and empty arms.
Well, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Might as well be us. Burkett has been keeping the ball down, as you can see, and that's very important for him. Keep the ball in the ballpark, keep it down. And speaking of Mother's Day, Jim Thome wanted me to say hello to his mom, Joyce, in Peoria, Illinois, and also Pudge Rodriguez, who's catching right now behind Thome. He wanted me to say hello to his mother, Eva, in Puerto Rico. So happy Mother's Day to the
Big Abaja.
Yeah.
Jim Thome. High sinker that misses. 1 ball to no strikes. He struck out his first time. Jim Thome was the 5th child of Joyce and Chuck Thome in Peoria. It's a foul back out of play. And he grew up a Cubs fan. I guess if you're from Peoria, you've got to be a Cubs fan.
Well, our Cubs fans don't even live in Peoria.
But he says that he's still a Cubs fan.
Oh, okay.
He says he plays for the Indians, but he'll always be a Cubs fan. Went to his first Major League game with his dad when he was 10. Oh, nice pitch. The sinker on the inside. And Thome,
he hasn't left yet. Strike 2. That's what I thought. I said, well, that was a very quick punch out there.
Ivan Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Started to throw the ball around.
I guess Ivan must have thought the first pitch was a strike as well, because there's only been 3 pitches. Well, that's the second pitch. Maybe Pudge was just following Dale Scott's orders there.
Well, Dale Scott gave it a pretty big call, like they do sometimes with strike 3. Oh, now there we know. But that is strike 3, and Thome knew it. No argument there. 13 in a row retired by John Burkett.
Well, this is strike 2, as we know now, as Pudge gets up and he fires a strike down to Tatis at third base. And then Dale Scott says, hey, Pudge, there's only 2. That's only 2.
What are you doing, man?
He said, I got a little better one, sir, waiting for 3.
And Sandy Alomar, the count 0-1. Alomar is the only man to have hit the ball to the outfield so far against Burkett. He had a line drive to the right fielder in the second inning. The other balls that have been hit in the air have been pop-ups. One line drive to the shortstop. There's a high pop-up. Heading for the seats on the third base side. Tatis over, but it is out of play. The customers will go for that one. 0-2 the count.
Alomar struggled, you know, since he came back. He got off to a great start. Then he had a groin injury, and he has really struggled since. Just watching that swing there, it didn't look like he was nearly as aggressive as he normally is. I was just wondering if something else is bothering him, because that was not a Sandy Alomar Jr. type swing right there.
I wonder also because, I mean, he's coming off his best all-round year last year.
Right.
Almost every category. Right to the shortstop, Elster. With a ground ball out. 14 in a row retired by Burkett.
That was a better swing there. He was a little more aggressive on that pitch.
Sandy Alomar's got only 2 home runs so far this year, although one of them was a big one against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in the bottom of the 9th inning of a game that won the game. I think that was just last weekend in Cleveland.
Well, they came from behind several times last week.
Brian Giles now. Tatis at third. It's a fair ball. He's got a long throw to make here. Time. Burkett has been perfection for 5 innings. Alicea, Greer, and Juan Gonzalez coming up.
Conchitoro. Taste says it all.
Come along.
Mailman, it's been a long time.
Whoa! Mailman! You grew hair!
That's right. Couldn't have done it without my Rogaine.
The new Rogaine Extra Strength for Men. It's concentrated. It gets more to the root to grow 45% more hair than the original.
Nice rebound.
Carl, sign my Rogaine. The new Rogaine. 45% more hair.
It delivers for me.
San Francisco in the middle 60s was a very special time and place to be a part of. We were riding the crest of a high and beautiful wave. So now, less than 5 years later, you can almost see the high water mark. That place where the wave finally broke and rolled back.
From the director of 12 Monkeys, based on the book that defined a generation, Johnny Depp, Benicio del Toro, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Buy the ticket, take the ride.
Rated R. Starts Friday, May 22nd at theaters everywhere.
Saab Gripen. For those seeking air superiority. The new Saab 95. For those seeking ground superiority.
For most people, springtime is a time of peace. It's a time of natural beauty and flowers and such. But for the baseball player, it's a time of impatience. He's got the fire in his belly. That's what springtime is. It's the quiet in the field before the war.
John Burkett and the Rangers out in front here 2-0 as Jaret Wright goes to work in the last of the 5th inning to Luis Alicea. He throws him a strike. It is 0-1. Alicea walked in the first inning to start a 2-run rally. Those are the only 2 runs of the game up till now. Pops out. Marvizquel. 1 away.
We talked about how Wright started the ball game off. Now he struck Goodwin out with a high fastball. He follows that by getting Rodriguez with a high fastball. Second time around, he gets Pudge the second time with a breaking ball, and Goodwin the second time with a breaking ball. Those are the 4 strikeouts that he has in this ball game, and he's gotten 2 with the fastball and 2 with the breaking ball.
Dusty Greer called a strike with that sinker. Greer has doubled home a run, and he has also singled to right. fastball. He lifts a foul out of play. Quickly behind in the count 0-2 with Juan Gonzalez on deck.
And John, the impressive thing to me so far after the first inning has been the movement on his pitches. That first fastball he threw to Greer just really ran away. I mean, he is throwing different types of fastballs and different speeds on the breaking ball. Otherwise, he is pitching and not just throwing, using his good stuff.
1 ball, 2 strikes now. Wasted a fastball there. The curve over the middle. Rusty Greer's just a good hitter.
Yeah, you have to give the hitter credit sometimes. Although, again, that was a breaking ball that was inside part of the plate, not exactly where they wanted it. They wanted this to be a slider, a hard breaking ball. See, that's not hard enough right there. And you can see Rusty Greer, he kind of glides and pops right there, as they say. He glides toward the ball and then pop. And because he came off his back foot, that keeps the bat level a little longer through the hitting zone.
Wait a minute, what happened to see it, read it, and explode?
Well, that was the hit man.
Now it's glide and pop.
Yeah, glide and pop.
Here's Juan Gonzalez. Pop. Left center field. Into the alleyway. It's going to roll to the wall. Greer is going to come all the way around to score the 46th RBI of the year for Juan Gonzalez. 3-0 Texas.
What is interesting here, John, is that they threw him a high fastball out over the plate, and he hit it to right field. And I said at that time I thought they should have come inside with the fastball. Well, this one is inside, and he just rips it. Look at that. I mean, inside, it looked like maybe not exactly where they wanted it, but he ripped it in the gap, and by the time they get it back in, he has his 46th run batted into the season.
46 RBIs. This is the 35th game of the year. Will Clark, a strike. Clark has singled on the run and walked. Gino Martinez, the Yankees, hit a 2-run homer today in Minnesota. He's got 36 RBIs, which is a great pace, and he's not even close to Gonzalez for the league lead. And Clark left a good eye there.
If Gonzalez stays healthy, John, I mean, there's no doubt that he can threaten Hack Wilson's 190 RBI mark, which is a major league record. And I mean, he's the guy that can do it. He's big and strong, so he will not get tired over the course of the season.
Clark with a high drive down the right field line into the corner. Ramirez right at the wall. Gonzalez tags, and he'll move on down to third. It is only 325 right to the foul pole in the right field corner, but it juts out very quickly from there, and Clark just fell a bit short from hitting it close enough to the line to get it out.
Well, they've been pitching Clark inside, and this pitch is inside, and he gets under it just enough to keep it in the ballpark. A long run for Ramirez. You could see he wasn't playing Clark to pull, but he takes it right in front of the stands down the right field line. And Will says he thought he hit it better than that. But he did tell me that this is a big ballpark.
Now Ivan Rodriguez, who has struck out twice, he chases that high hard one. Wright came right after him there. And it is 0-1. Rodriguez struck out swinging on a high fastball in the first, looking at a slider in the third.
I guarantee all the other pitchers around the league are saying Jaret Wright showing them how to pitch to a 400 hitter.
Well, he was a 400 hitter when the game started.
Right.
He's now pitching to a 398 hitter. Yeah. Jaret Wright just missing with that last fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3-0 Texas. Slider going outside. Nice save in the dirt there by Sandy Alomar. 2-1 the count to Rodriguez. Lee Stevens would be next. John Burkett got a 3-run lead with which to work now. He has not yet allowed even a base runner. He made it look ridiculously easy against a great offensive club. The shortstop, Omar Vizquel, throws out Rodriguez, and Gonzalez stranded at third. He's got 46 RBIs, though, ripping a double into the alleyway. They've completed 5. 3-0 Texas.
No multi-million-dollar contracts. No victory laps. Not even a winner's circle. But if you think these weekend warriors who run the Score Desert Championship Series take anything for granted, think again. Which is exactly why they run with the Duralast battery from AutoZone. A battery so tough, so dependable, we back it with a 2-year free replacement guarantee. The next time you hit the road, don't settle for anything less.
So, what are we going to do today, Matt?
Shave it off, all of it, just...
Okay.
It's just this dandruff. It goes away, comes back, goes away, comes back.
Well, we can take care of that.
Head and Shoulders?
With regular shampoo, flakes can keep coming back. But Head & Shoulders helps prevent flakes before they start. You may never see flakes again.
And your hair looks great.
Glad I didn't do something stupid like shave my head.
Head & Shoulders changes dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
Today, the new language of business is digital. Sharp speaks it fluently and can translate it in ways that make sense for you. Digital networkable copiers that can print, sort, and staple from your desktop PC means your work flows faster and more efficiently. And Sharp faxes with Super G3 technology simply means you'll do more in less time and save money. In this digital world, there's only one word you need to know: Sharp. Translating the new language of business.
There are hundreds of lawnmowers to choose from, with a broad range of quality features designed to meet your needs. But the ones that have the edge to do the job right have one feature in common: a powerful, high-performance Briggs & Stratton engine. Make sure your lawnmower is powered by Briggs & Stratton, the power in power equipment.
Sunday night baseball from Texas. The Rangers trying to get it going here against one of the top ball clubs in the league after struggling for a week. A full moon, and we're not far from DFW International.
And it looked like plane taking a lot of moms to their kids.
Leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. John Burkett has not allowed a base runner, and only one ball has been hit to the outfield against him through 5 innings. The last third of the order coming up for Cleveland here: David Bell, Jeff Branson, and Sean Dunston. 3-0 for Texas. And the breaking ball, a strike in the outside corner. It's 0-1. Durwood Merrill is the third base umpire tonight. Native of Texas, longtime American League umpire. He got a book out, and it's been controversial in some circles. Here's the ball to the outfield. Bit of a moral victory for the Indians up to now, and the second ball that they've managed to get to the outfield. This off the bat of David Bell. Nonetheless, for an out, 16 consecutive batters retired by John Burkett. Durwood Merrill particularly had his book stir up a bit of controversy with his brethren in the National League. He says that the National League umpires consider themselves better than the American League umpires, Joe. He says the National League umpires through the years have told their young umps to act superior to the American League umpires. Shallow left center field, and Greer. That's the first action that he's had out there in this ball game.
Kind of interesting. He is not allowed with one ball to the outfield before this inning. Now 2 in a row, but he'll take them. They're pop-ups.
This is the closest he's come tonight to getting really knocked around. They just did a couple of pop-ups against him to the outfield. Sean Dunston grounded to third his first time. He was not originally in the lineup. But David Justice, a little back problem, took some swings before the game to test it out, and told Mike Hargrove that he probably should not go tonight. So Dunston got put in there at the last minute as the DH. Down the right field line. This one is into the corner. Gonzalez on the run makes the catch. A 7-pitch inning for Burkett. They actually made some serious contact right there, but still they have not put a man on base. Texas 3, Cleveland nothing after 5.5. Stay with us.
Suburban Cable is proud to sponsor the Bucks County Spring Challenge Series, featuring 6 different 5K races to raise funds for these local organizations: the Central Bucks YMCA, Doylestown Hospital, Bucks County Sertoma, Doylestown Business and Community Alliance, Special Equestrians, and the Chalfont Challenge. Athletes of all abilities can enter. Run, walk, or just join the fun. Call 215-348-1509. Suburban Cable. It's great to be connected.
Ultimate Fighting Championship presents Redemption. Brazilian sensation Vitor Belfort returns to prove he's the UFC's brightest young star. Tank Abbott is back to show he's still one of the toughest men in the octagon. Plus, the long-awaited return of former UFC heavyweight champion Mark the Hammer Coleman. And the toughest tournament in sports, UFC 17, Friday, May 15th, live on pay-per-view. The heavyweights are back, and they're out for redemption.
You're highly qualified, Tom, but our background check shows you've been convicted of a felony.
Really? Oh, that's nothing. I got one of those black boxes, you know, for getting free pay channels, and I got caught.
So you were stealing cable television?
I wouldn't call it stealing.
Really? What would you call it?
Well,
Thanks, Tom. I think that'll be all.
Cable theft. It's a crime the way some people watch television.
Played. The Stars split at home, and now head for Edmonton, where Cujo and the Oilers are gearing up for a Game 3 battle. Stars-Oilers, tomorrow night at 8:30 on ESPN.
Rangers 3, Cleveland Indians nothing. Last of the 6th inning, John Burkett has not allowed a base runner as yet. Here's the in-game box score, and you see the real damage has been done by Rusty Greer. 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Juan Gonzalez 2 for 3 with an RBI. Will Clark drove home a run in the first, and they've been able to concentrate those hits together to take a 3-0 lead over Jaret Wright as he delivers to Lee Stevens. Ball 1. Stevens has grounded to short and flied to left. Interesting contrast in styles between Wright and Burkett. Wright eases one over the inside there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Young, hard thrower against Burkett, a veteran. Doesn't throw that hard. Omar Vizquel is called off by Lofton, who drops the ball. Into second is Stevens. Vizquel originally called off Bell, and then Lofton called off Vizquel.
Well, Lofton took charge, which is the way it's supposed to go. Vizquel did his job. He got out of the way, but Kenny did not make the catch. Now watch, here's Vizquel calling it. He's telling Bell, I've got it. Now here you see Lofton calling it. It seemed like he just lost it. He's there in plenty of time. Vizquel gets out of the way, so there's nothing wrong with Vizquel. There's nothing he did to bother him, and that's an error on the center fielder.
So Lofton, as you see there, does not often have things like that happen to him, although that's his 4th error of the season already. Here's Elster, bloops one into right field. And the Rangers are going to turn this one into a run right away. Stevens scores 4-0.
And this is something that often happens with, young pitchers as they're learning and gaining experience in the major leagues. Someone makes a mistake behind them, and, and then they end up giving up a run. Whereas a veteran pitcher will, we say bow his neck a little bit and make sure that they get the 8th and 9th hitters out. But Elster bloops it down the right field line, and the Rangers get another run as Lee Stevens comes in with the 4th run.
Now Fernando Tatis turning to bunt and taking the breaking ball, called strike 1. 4-0 Texas. That's a big run on what looked like a fairly routine play. Turned into a 2-base error, and then Elster on 1 pitch turns that error into a run. And the breaking ball, missing outside. Again, Tatis showing bunt. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. John Burkett does not throw with the kind of speed, with the kind of fire of Jaret Wright. I don't think he ever has. But tonight he's certainly given us a clinic in the art of pitching. Tatis again shows bunt. Takes strike 2, a fastball to the outside. Meanwhile, the Cleveland bullpen is very busy. The left-hander, number 47, Ron Vallone. The right-hander, number 38, Eric Plunk.
I was a little surprised that they had him square around to bunt right there. 2 balls and no strikes. But 1 and 1, I'm sorry. I thought that they might put a hit and run on instead of having him square around again.
Strike 3 call. 5 strikeouts for Wright. Hey, we hope you'll make your plans to be with us next Sunday night. Sunday Night Baseball will travel to the Sky Dome in Toronto. Ken Griffey Jr. against his old teammate, Jose Cruz Jr. and the Toronto Blue Jays. Jose Canseco on that Toronto Ball Club now. Roger Clemens, Pat Henkin. The Blue Jays and the Mariners next Sunday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, 7 Central. We hope you'll be with us.
We'll get a chance to see Jose Cruz Jr., who has been struggling this year after getting off to a fantastic start last year. He's struggling a lot. In fact, he's been platooned a lot lately.
Good one, 0 for 3. There goes Elster. They do put on the hit and run this time, but the ball hit right to the man who stayed home. Bell, and he throws out Goodwin, but Elster has been moved up.
Well, that's what I actually thought they would do, you know, with Tatis. Because you have a 4-run lead. 1 more run is not going to make a lot of difference as far as the Indians are concerned. They're, you know, if they can come back from a 4-run deficit, they can come back from 5. But you usually try to break the game open, maybe get a couple of runs. Because a grand slam can tie the ball game now, but you try to build up a big lead against a team like the Indians.
Luis Alicea, 0 for 2 with a walk, taking ball 1. And particularly John Burkett has had that propensity this year for pitching beautifully and then giving up the big inning. Too high. 2-0 the count to Alicea. And this is a guy he really needs to go after. He's got Rusty Greer, one of the Rangers' best hitters, 3 for 3 tonight on deck. And if he does not retire Alicea, he may well be out of this game. He's already thrown, as you see, 107 pitches. 4-0, Texas ahead. Right up the middle, base hit. Heading home, Elster. The throw by Lofton. Slides. To second base, Alicea, and we're going to have the argument now at the plate, and Mike Hargrove is going to come out and pick it up.
Well, I tell you what, that was a great play by Alomar Jr. I mean, he grabbed the ball with 1 hand and reached for his toe. But Dale Scott saying that he got his toe in there. Good throw from center field by Kenny Lofton. Even though he had to back up on the ball, he couldn't charge it. And you see Mike Hargrove trying to explain what he saw from the dugout. Well, you see the throw by Lofton. It could have been cut off. Now watch, Tomey's there. He could have cut it off, so it's a good throw. It hits the mound. Now watch Alomar Jr. dive for him. Right there. And the home plate umpire says his foot was on the bag. We'll get up on the plate. We'll get a look at it here. And it's probably, the umpire's probably correct. That's a very close play. And we'll get a look here. This should be the definitive look. Yes, he's safe. So a good call there by Dale Scott. Very close play, but a good call.
Great call. And that will also spell the end of Jaret Wright. 5-0 Texas. Runner at second. Mike Hargrove making a change.
Hey, Grandpa, tonight we'll be at your house, and I got a surprise for you.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light you see,
surprise?
Stand by me.
The Sabre by Buick. Peace of mind.
Stand by me.
This summer, if you're looking for danger, excitement, and adventure, X marks the spot. The X Games, coming June 20th.
This is where I work. These are my co-workers. Those are my customers. And that's me. Employee number 8. I make baskets.
You heard about the high-endurance deodorant challenge from Old Spice? It's great at stopping odor. But what if you gotta stop sweat? Well, now High Endurance makes a powerful new anti-perspirant. A white solid that goes on clear. See? No white flakes. So you can stay dry without the white mess you get from some other antiperspirants. Guaranteed. Or call 1-800-PROVE-IT and Old Spice will buy you a stick of yours. So take the challenge. Because this is more than just an antiperspirant. This is the high endurance of antiperspirants.
Stand back, Pamela. Look out, Amber.
Uh-oh. B-A-N-A-N-A, so good, so sweet. B-A-N-A-N-A, oh, bananas, what a treat.
Golf takes energy, precision, and planning.
B-A-N-A-N-A, oh, bananas, rock and roll.
Just like a healthy diet of fresh Dole fruits and vegetables. Try some today.
B-A-N-A-N-A.
Dole bananas, it doesn't get any sweeter.
Cool.
Easy game.
Yo, Willie Dole.
Watch how great this positioning is by Dale Scott. He gets right there where he can look down on the plate. And watch this play. Watch, we'll stop it right there. His foot's on the plate, and the tag is applied. A perfect call there by Dale Scott.
Well done. Now here is Ron Ballone. Real hard-throwing left-hander to face Rusty Greer. Ballone spent some time in the minor leagues this year. Greer drills one deep down the right field line, but foul.
John, the reason I really wanted to show that is that a lot of times the umpires are in different positions, you know, when they call a play at the plate, but you could see there Dale Scott was in perfect position to be able to look down and get the angle.
So we want to make sure
when they do something good, we want to compliment them.
We only comment on it when it goes wrong.
Exactly, and we shouldn't do that.
Luis Alicea, the runner at second. 2 down.
Or should I say you guys shouldn't do that?
What are you guys? It's just me and you up here. I just say ball 1 all night. I say 2 and 1. You're the one always getting on everybody. Ron Ballone, 2 and 1 count. Now it goes to 3 and 1. Ballone just recalled from Buffalo in AAA ball 8 days ago. Replaced Tom Martin, a lefty, who had to go on the disabled list with tendonitis in his shoulder. Ballone did not give up an earned run in the minor leagues, and been the same story so far here, but he walks the left-handed hitter. Not usually a good idea in front of the major league's leading RBI man. And Ballone, who apparently was called in there just to face Rusty Greer, because here comes Mike Hargrove back to the mound again with the right-handed slugger Gonzalez. He's got Eric Plunk warming up in the bullpen. We'll see if he's thinking of another change here. Gonzalez tonight is 2 for 3, and he drove in a run in the 5th inning with a double to left center.
Well, he wants Dale Scott to come out there so he can make another comment to him.
And Scott's on his way out. Yeah, Scott's at the mound right now. There's the call, and there's a little more discussion going on. We'll be right back.
Why is America on America Online?
The internet, email, instant messages.
No more computer mumbo jumbo. AOL now offers more benefits, and we've spent over $500 million to triple capacity.
If I can do it, anyone can.
So easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
That's Ursus Arctos Man, grizzly bear. Not
about 1,200 pounds. Try and act confident. Show your teeth and snarl. It should trigger his flight instinct. If that doesn't work, walk directly up to the bear and box him on his ears.
Are you a forest ranger?
No, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
You've got a house, which also means you've got a permanent license to worry. Wouldn't it be nice to make one part of your house worry-proof? Well, you can start with your deck and Thompson's Wood Protector. It not only has our legendary waterproofing, it resists graying from the sun and prevents mildew discoloration. Try Thompson's Wood Protector in clear and 3 sheer colors. Thompson's. It's worry-proof.
My brother is stubborn.
I'm not.
Won't try anything.
Not true.
Broccoli.
Too green.
Karaoke.
Too hokey.
Then I said try 10-3-2-1.
Too new.
Saves cash on every call in the U.S.
Every call?
Quick or long.
How much?
50% off calls over 20 minutes.
Half price?
Great international rates, too.
I can call Paris?
Oui, monsieur.
Right now?
Don't have to switch phone companies.
Right here?
Just dial 10-3-2-1, then the number is usual.
This is easy. Why didn't I try this sooner? Don't push your luck.
Stubborn.
Demanded better training facilities. Insisted on new uniforms and equipment. Held out for hundreds of free tickets. These guys will stop at nothing to get whatever they can for the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Major League Baseball charities and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, giving kids a world of opportunities.
The veteran right-hander, Eric Plunk, comes on now for Cleveland to face Juan Gonzalez with 2 men on and 2 men out. Plunk, hard-throwing right-hander with a good breaking ball, on to face the Majors' leading RBI man. And Plunk has really struggled so far this year.
Well, it's interesting, you know, look at the numbers, but he hasn't walked as many as normal. You know, 1 every 3 innings is not that bad for...
No, you're looking at his hits. He's 1 walk for every 3 hits allowed. 1 walk for every 2 innings. A lot of walks.
Last week my math was off. Now I can't read.
There I go.
Correcting me again.
Criticizing.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm ripping you.
There you see Juan Gonzalez numbers. He's 3 for 18 against Eric Plunk. 167 average.
Alicea, the runner at second. Greer, the runner at first. Juan Gonzalez. 46 RBIs. This is his 35th game. The Rangers' 35th game of the year. Well, sometimes they say that against certain batters, hitters just don't see the ball well.
That's true.
And that ball was like a foot outside, wasn't it?
It was very difficult for Alomar Jr. just to catch it. So that's one of that may explain why he hasn't hit well against Eric Plunk. He just does not see the ball well out of his hand.
1 strike to count. 2 on, 2 out. And the breaking ball in there. Curved ball, strike 2.
Nice pitch there from Plunk, because basically he's pretty much hard stuff and a hard slider and a good fastball. That was a slower curveball. John Burkett waiting to go back out now. He has 5 runs to work with at least before he goes back for the 7th inning.
Been sitting around a long time this inning. 2 pitching changes. Comes after him with a fastball and coming over. Tommy runs out of room. Jose Mesa, the right-hander. Rick Kribda, the left-hander. Mike Hargrove's playing this as if the game is right here, right now. I mean, to keep the Rangers from completely breaking it wide open.
Now, the interesting thing about this inning is they tried to bunt, meaning the Rangers did. And
playing for one
run.
Yeah.
And they've already scored 2 now.
Greer at first, Alicea at second. Slider. Did he swing? No. First base umpire Ted Barrett ruling in favor of Gonzalez. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Like Gonzalez in that 1 swing, Joe, it might have pulled something.
You're right. It looks like he did something to his left side, or maybe his left arm. Like he was trying to stretch it there. It's the last thing he needs. He's had so many health problems over the years. If he just stay healthy, there's no telling what numbers he can put up.
And the fastball for the strikeout. So Plunk was certainly the right man for this spot. But the Rangers nonetheless get 2 more runs in behalf of Burkett. Top of the order coming up for Cleveland. 5-0 Texas.
Discover a great way to shop for your next car. Tune into Cable Cars every day at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Cable Marketplace Channel 2. You'll see hundreds of new or used cars every week from some of the finest dealerships in South Jersey. Sedans, wagons, 4x4s, and pickups. It's as easy as tuning in to Cable Cars every day at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Cable Marketplace Channel 2. Cable Cars. It's a great way to shop for your next car.
Chemistry class led me to a life of crime. I catch murderers, rapists, and thieves with the microscope. Help your daughter become a scientist. Instead of a tea set, get her a chemistry set. Look at the boring job I got from being a science nerd. Expect the best from a girl. That's what you'll get.
George watched the Goslings swim, and they swam, and they swam.
From birth to age 3 are the most important years in a child's brain development. The time that defines who they become.
So little baby.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by Nissan, who reminds you that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride. John Miller, Joe Morgan with you from the ballpark in Arlington. The Rangers leading 5-0 as we go to the top of the 7th inning. And Joe, the Cleveland Indians, this great, powerful ball club, at the top of their order up. Lofton is some of their best hitters now. And we got a little intrigue because John Burkett's got a perfect game through 6 innings.
Well, he's been doing it with smoke and mirrors, so to speak. He's been really changing speeds well and hitting his spots, and that's the important thing. Until last inning, they'd only had 1 ball out of the infield. They hit 3 fly balls last inning, so maybe starting to get the ball up a little bit, but he's been in complete command so far.
Now the domination we're talking about as we look at the in-game box, and there it is, pretty uniform. He's been through the order twice, and everybody is 0 for 2. Only 4 balls have been hit to the outfield against him. You can check out that in-game box, by the way, on any game at any time when you tune in ESPN.com. Well, check it out.
Lofton did hit the ball hard, and Will Clark made a nice play at first base his last time up.
Lofton down the right field line. Gonzalez on the run. He makes a spectacular catch. What a way. Wow. And the big man is doing it all right now.
You know, John, maybe Kenny Lofton was right. He said he's been hitting the ball hard, and they've been making plays on him. Will Clark took a hit from him his last time up, and now Juan Gonzalez, who gets a standing ovation here from this crowd. Well, this ball is smoked. When he first hit it, I thought it was an automatic double, but a nice play there by Gonzalez.
Now Burkett back to work to Omar Vizquel. Strike 1. Well, the Rangers have played very strong defensively all through the early part of the season. That is a foul on the first base side. So Vizquel quickly in a hole, 0-2. But, you know, Juan Gonzalez, always known as a slugger, and had a rap that he was not a very good defensive player, and has really worked hard on that.
That's one thing that he really worked hard on in the last few springs is his defense. And I still think he's one of the most underrated players in this game.
And strike 3 called. Vizquel has a quick word with Dale Scott before departing.
Well, that's a pitch that John Burkett used to throw a lot. He'd start the ball off the plate inside. Now watch, it'll start inside right there, and then it moves back on the inside corner. He used to throw that pitch quite often. Now watch, you'll see the rotation. Look at it moving back toward the center of the plate, right on the inside corner.
Great shot, and you can really see it.
And Dell punches him out.
2 down, Manny Ramirez. That's 18 in a row. I'm behind myself. 20 in a row retired by Burkett.
I was going to correct you, but I didn't feel I wanted to do that.
You would never do that.
I would never do that.
Ramirez has popped to first and grounded out to third. 0 for 2. Inside for a ball. 1 ball. As the late President John F. Kennedy once said, Joe, it's only a mistake if you don't correct it.
Oh, okay. Good. I tell you one thing, John Burkett is throwing harder this inning, John.
Tatis cannot get to it, and there's the first base hit. Down the left field line, it hits the railing, and Greer's got to come in after the ball, and it's a double for Ramirez. And now that the no-hitter, the perfect game, has been broken up, the big crowd here at the ballpark rises to salute John Burkett.
And John, that illustrates how difficult it is to pitch a no-hitter unless you have overpowering stuff. Because that was just fair by inches down the line, and that's what this game is, a game of inches when you let hitters put the ball in play so often.
Yeah, one could just as easily have kicked off foul. Jim Thome, change a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Thome has struck out twice, once swinging. So now Burkett, who has done it with a real economy of pitches, only 74 pitches thrown. Just off the outside. 2 balls and a strike. Now, earlier this week, young Kerry Wood, the 20-year-old sensation of the Chicago Cubs, captured the imagination of the baseball world with a 20 strikeout performance. Whoa. Right over the top, 2-2 to Thome. Kerry Wood pitched a 1-hitter in Chicago against the Houston Astros. As we look at that pitch again, had 20 strikeouts and no walks.
Well, if you only let 7 guys hit the ball, you may have a chance of the outs. You may have a chance of pitching a no-hitter.
It takes a lot of the chance out of it. That's a ball. Well, 7 of the outs were on balls that were hit, and there was 1 hit, an infield hit, and he also hit about it. But one of the most dominant performances anybody's ever seen in anything. He struck him out. Thome's gone down on strikes 3 times, and another standing ovation for John Burkett. He's been struggling all year long, and tonight he has been at his very best. 5-0 Texas.
The Nissan Pre-Memorial Day event is going on, but only until May 18th. So now's the perfect time to get a great deal on any new Nissan. Like you can get all the quality and craftsmanship of a new Nissan Altima with incredible 1.9% APR financing. 1.9. Get down to your local Nissan retailer now and spend Memorial Day somewhere really fun. In the new Altima you got with 1.9% APR. The Nissan Pre-Memorial Day event at your Nissan retailer only through May 18th.
This century has seen only 7 Wheaties champions. Athletes who defined an era. Athletes who changed the game. Say hello to number 8. Introducing Tiger Woods, a new generation of Wheaties champion.
This is life. This is getting every mile you can out of life. And this is how you get there. Kelly Charger high-performance tires are engineered for long mileage. Of course, that's no guarantee you'll live harder or go farther. Just an invitation.
Regular lenses show reflections, and that doesn't look good. A lot of reflections. Yeah, I see reflections everywhere. Now at Lens Crafters, I have new lenses called Invisibles. They reduce reflections up to 90%.
Wow.
It's so clear, so people see more of your eyes. You look better, even see better, especially when driving at night. Only lens crafters can make invisibles in almost any pair in about an hour. Helping someone look and see their best, that means everything to me.
New Invisibles, only at Lens Crafters.
A magazine's success starts with the writers.
What's the scoop on McGuire? Are the home run records safe while that kid's got a bat in his hands? And give me a piece on Baker and Peyton. Find out how to keep their mojo working. And hockey. Get me some hockey. Print it, baby!
Now the Rangers, last of the 7th inning, from Arlington. 5-0. Texas is out in front as Will Clark stands in. Will Clark has singled home a run. He's walked, and he fell just short of a home run in the 5th inning. Facing Eric Plunk now for the first time. And it's high for a ball. There's another ball game going on, and it involves the nearest competitor to the Rangers in the American League West standings. The Anaheim Angels are playing a home game against the Detroit Tigers. 2-0 to Clark. He rips one high in the air, medium deep right center, playable for Ramirez, and there is one away. Let's get an update on that other ball game. Here's Larry Beal.
All right, thanks, John. MCI takes us to Anaheim for the Tigers and the Angels. Bottom of the 5th, Big Daddy Cecil Fielder down the line. He doubles home Darren Erstad and Jim Edmonds to make it 3-0. John, as you mentioned, Anaheim starting the night 3 games behind Texas in the AL West. Both teams winning as Anaheim tries to keep pace. Now 3-1 game.
All right, thanks, Larry. So we'll keep you posted on that ball game. It certainly is of interest to Rangers fans as well as the Seattle Mariners fans, for that matter. Mariners won a low-scoring ball game today over the Toronto Blue Jays up at the Kingdome, 3-1. The Mariners are slowly but surely starting to put it together now after that terrible start. And they're back to 500, 18-18 with that win today. Ivan Rodriguez 0 for 3. Tough pitch there by Eric Plunk, that curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rodriguez has struck out twice and grounded a short once, hitting .395 now for the year. 5-0. Texas leading in the last of the 7th. At second, well, there's one of those right at him balls hit by Rodriguez that he was telling Joe about.
Hey, John, it's the 7th inning we're in here.
Okay.
What happened yesterday at Wrigley Field?
A 1, a 2, a 3. Take. Let's root for the Cubbies. All right. That was for you, Harry. Thanks.
Well, I tell you what, John. They said you were a guest conductor. You truly conducted. You did not sing very much.
Well, I thought that was for the best.
Oh, no. But they're making another pitching change, so we'll be back in a minute.
It didn't sound like they were singing too loudly either. You know it? They were a state of shock in Chicago.
Tonight, the world is full of light, with suns and moons all over the place. Tonight,
Let's just be friends. Tonight, there's only you tonight.
I run home every day after school. I go to the woods near my house. Not a nice little run, like, hi, Mom, I'm home from school. I'll pretend a pack of wolves is chasing me. My run home is 25 flights up to my apartment. 25 flights every day. I'll run over rocks, I'll run through mud. I just run for my life. Even though my legs are shaking, you can't stop. Till those wolves get tired and stop. I don't want to sit in the 4th quarter. Just like the 400. Running away from those wolves. This is my game.
A lot of times when something goes wrong with your car, you know it right away. But some parts, like shock absorbers, tend to wear out gradually over time. So gradually that many drivers fail to realize just how worn their shocks have become. So rather than wait till it's painfully obvious that you need new shocks, stop by your nearest AutoZone. Right now, when you buy 3 Gabriel Gas Rider shocks or struts, you get the 4th one free, only at AutoZone.
What is Nicorette? Nicotine replacement gum. It helps you stop smoking cigarettes, but you don't chew it like regular gum. You bite Nicorette until it tingles. Then you hold it between your cheek and your gum. And you get a lower level of nicotine to help you fight your cravings. And as your cravings get fewer and fewer, you use less and less and less Nicorette until you use none. And none is a wonderful number.
Nicorette gum helps you fight your cravings, your habit, your way. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
We're in the last of the 7th inning from the ballpark in Arlington. 5-0. The Texas Rangers trying to win their 3rd in a row against the Cleveland Indians and maybe make a little bit of a statement in so doing. As you see Paul Assenmacher, the veteran left-hander, on the pitch now. He too has struggled a bit. The Cleveland bullpen has had its problems.
Other than Mike Jackson, everyone else has struggled a little bit. In fact, Mike Jackson is the closer now instead of Jose Mesa. So Jackson has been the only one in the bullpen that has been consistent so far this season.
Assenmacher, the left-hander, on to face the left-handed swinging Lee Stevens. And the curveball for a strike, ended as 0-1. The Rangers began last weekend this stretch of games, 16 games against the Red Sox, the Yankees, and Cleveland. They're right in the middle of that stretch now. The curveball, 0-2. And they didn't start out well against those teams. They lost 5 of their first 6 against these 3 powerhouses. But now they've won the last 2, and they're leading tonight. And they've got to head out on the road and face soon anyway. The Red Sox come in here tomorrow. Red Sox will be here tomorrow and Tuesday, and then they go to New York and to Cleveland. So the Rangers like to prove to everyone that they can play with these big, strong teams from the East. Assenmacher throws out Stevens. John Burkett ready to head back to the mound with Sandy Alomar coming up. 5-0 Rangers.
I wanted something that was really fast. I'm talking hyper velocity. I play a lot of games. The graphics defy physical reality. I'm like, you mean I get to build my own computer? And they're like, yeah, that's how we do it. I'm like, sweet.
When you call 1-800-GATEWAY, we'll build a Gateway computer just for you. We turbocharged Alex's PC with an Intel 400 megahertz Pentium 2 processor, their fastest one, for a great price. Whoa. Want us to build you a rocket? Call us and let's talk about your gateway.
With formidable strength, a distinctly individual style, and the strongest V8 in its class, this is the most powerful Sierra in GMC's history. Sierra gives you the style to stand apart from the herd, and the power to pull it. Sierra by GMC, putting you comfortably in command.
There are now over 8,669 mutual funds. 616 new funds were added last year alone. That's a lot of new gurus. One company has been at this for 65 years, in every kind of market and economy. Call Invesco. 38 no-load funds, 65 years of experience, a global perspective. You should know what Invesco knows.
Please don't drive drunk.
When it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go. National Car Rental, the official car rental company of ESPN. So what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Let's go! Texas leading 5-0. Here's the Flood Company game summary. Cleveland with only 1 hit against John Burkett. Manny Ramirez 2-out double in the 7th inning. Burkett retired the first 20 batters. Meanwhile, the Rangers numbers 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Greer, Gonzalez, and Will Clark, are 6 for 10. 3 scored, 3 batted in, including 1 RBI for Juan Gonzalez, his 46th RBI of the year. Now John Burkett to face Sandy Alomar. Brian Giles, David Bell. Those are the 3 Cleveland hitters due up. Red Sox next for Texas. And then 2 New York and 2 Cleveland next weekend. But with a win tonight, they will have taken 3 out of 4 from the Cleveland Indians in this series. The changeup. It is 0-1. Another thing that happened earlier this week, they were down to the Yankees 9-0 and came back and eventually tied the game at 13-13, although they eventually also lost. And no swing ruled there on appeal to Ted Barrett, the first base umpire. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sandy Alomar. He and his brother Roberto Alomar remained very close to their mother and father. We mentioned their mother since it's Mother's Day. Yeah. They have a big house that they have right next to their mom and dad's house down in Puerto Rico, where they live in the off season. Sandy and his wife and family take the lower floor of this big house, and Roberto Alomar lives upstairs in the other part of the house. Ooh, look out. Jeff Newman, third base coach, had to move quickly on that one. Had to do the Texas 2-step. $31,232, the official paid crowd here in Arlington tonight. Kevin Elster in time. 1 away. Now here's an update from Larry Beal.
All right, John. John Burkett lost his no-hitter in the 7th in your game. Same story for Tim Wakefield in the Red Sox-Royals game today. No knuckleballer has thrown a no-no in 25 years. Phil Niekro, the last to do it. Wakefield ended up with a 3-hitter. Dean Palmer hypnotized there in a 3-1 Sox win. John, Joe?
All right, thanks, Larry. And the Red Sox continue to play well. 24-11.
Amazing.
That's good enough for 2nd place in their division. Pedro Martinez has pitched well, and Wakefield is now 4-1, and Brett Saberhagen risen from the baseball scrap heap to go 5-0, which is truly exciting. I mean, he was a great pitcher, a couple of Cy Young Award wins, and it looked like he might be finished.
Speaking of the Red Sox, I saw a great comment by Buddy Bell. He said he just loves to watch Mo Vaughn and Nomar Garcia-Parra play. He said they're just having so much fun out there. He said that's the way the game is supposed to be played. It was a high compliment. He said he wished he would have played with those 2 guys. That's Buddy Bell, the manager of the Detroit Tigers.
There's a high pop-up by Brian Giles. Juan Gonzalez. 2 men gone now.
And Buddy Bell, of course, a long-time star here in Texas.
Yeah. In fact, I was the broadcaster for Texas when they traded for Buddy Bell. He came here from Cleveland in 1979. Buddy doesn't like for me to mention this, but I don't know why it just sticks with me. I mean, he was a great third baseman, right? Gold glove quality, great all-around player, heads-up player. He had 200 hits for the Rangers that year, but did not hit 300. Now that's hard to do.
Well, that means you don't walk at all, huh?
200 hits, and he hit 299.
Oh, man.
And his buddy's son, David Bell, swinging a miss. 0-2 the count. They've had a lot of problems finding a second baseman, and right now David Bell has got the job. They like his glove work over there, and he's hit the ball well. Well, tonight against Burkett, like just about everybody else, he's 0 for 2. Back out of play. Burkett's still making it look easy with 2 down in the 8th inning.
But as good as this Cleveland Indians ball club is, you still have to look at their defense and say it's a little suspect. I mean, obviously at shortstop you have Omar Vizquel, who is, just the best. But your second baseman, they've been struggling. They had Sean Dunston there. He hasn't worked out. Tomei's had some problems at first base, and their outfield play has not been all that good. So
Cleveland has they've made 29 errors this year. By comparison, Texas has made 15. 1-2. Bell shows a good eye there to lay off that slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down in the 8th inning. Mike Hargrove. In his division, his ball club is the only one over 500. Even with a loss tonight, they'll remain 6 games ahead of everybody else in the division. Base hit to left field. Very hard hit liner out of the reach of Kevin Elster by David Bell. Look at that from Mashcam.
Yeah, let's take a look at this pitch. Looks like it's right in the middle of the plate, and that's what a lot of big league hitters will do with a ball right in the middle of the plate.
Well, and Burkett can go right in the middle of the plate now.
Yes.
Got a 5-0 lead.
Well, you don't. The last thing you want to do is walk someone, make them hit their way on.
Branson, the hitter, in the dirt. And I like to give Bell a little credit there, because I think he finally prompted Burkett to come down the middle. Fouled off some real tough pitches. John Burkett has not allowed a single walk tonight. Jeff Branson standing in. Burkett with a 2-hitter now. He has had 1 2-hitter in his career, complete game 2-hitter. And that was against the Los Angeles Dodgers in April of '96, when he was still with the Florida Marlins. Eric Gunderson, a left-hander, starts to warm up in the Rangers bullpen. 2-1 the count. Burkett has not often been this deep into a game this year. Burkett, in his previous 7 starts, had thrown 40 1/3 innings, less than 6 per start. He'd been knocked out before he finished the 5th inning in 4 of his previous 7 starts. He's now thrown 98 pitches in this game. He came into this game with an 8.03 ERA. So the Rangers have to be ecstatic to see Burkett put his game together like this. Gonzalez over into right center. No problem. Branson retired. So Burkett with a 2-hitter through 8 innings. Elster, Tatis, and Goodwin coming up. The Rangers lead the Cleveland Indians 5-0. Stay with us.
Play ball.
This century has seen only 7 Wheaties champions. Athletes who defined an era. Athletes who changed the game. Say hello to number 8. Introducing Tiger Woods, a new generation of Wheaties champion.
Maybe mounting that camera inside a baseball wasn't the best way to get a close-up of Larry Walker's batting gloves. Franklin carbon fiber batting gloves. The official batting glove of Major League Baseball.
Moscow, we have a problem.
On today's rough roads, if you ever need to stop quickly, consider replacing your worn shock absorbers. It can be like getting an extra 10 feet of road when you need it most. Replace your worn shocks with new Monroe Sensatrack, now with SafeTech. Unlike worn shocks, Sensatrack helps hold your tire to the road. Tests show you can stop an average of 10 feet sooner, and that can make a big difference. Monroe Sensatrack, making the road a safer place.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. The Texas Rangers leading the Cleveland Indians 5-0. A 2-hit shutout going for John Burkett through 8 innings. The Rangers getting another RBI from their RBI machine, Juan Gonzalez, giving him 46 RBIs in 35 games. The all-time RBI record for a single season was set in 1930 by Hack Wilson of the Chicago Cubs. He drove in 190 that year. And Joe, he headed into August that year and already had 103.
Right.
But then he drove in 53 runs in August and 34 more in September. So Hack Wilson, the year he had 190, drove in 87 in the last 2 months, and that's where he usually leaves all of the contenders for that RBI crown in the dust.
Well, it's kind of like Babe Ruth did the same thing. The last down the stretches where guys that set records that last for a long time, after they've usually gotten hot.
Kevin Elster against Ossenmacher. Elster 2 for 3 with an RBI. Yeah, the Babe in 1927 actually was behind his own teammate Lou Gehrig going into September. Gehrig had 46 homers. The Babe had 43. And then Ruth hit 17 homers in 27 September games to finish with 60. Gehrig hit 1 more, finished with 47.
And that's why he's the Babe. That's why they gave him the nickname, the Babe.
The Babe. The Sultan of Swat, the Bambino. Slowly hit the short. Vizquel. And that is one away in the 8th inning. So Gonzalez, the big thing with Juan Gonzalez, Joe, is, and you've mentioned it a couple of times, staying healthy. Gonzalez has already shown that he can drive in the runs when given the chance. Last year, 131 RBIs and only played 133 games. The year before, 144 RBIs, only played 134 games. Tatis, the hitter, takes ball 1 in the dirt. So he had 10 more RBIs than games played 2 years ago. The one other thing, there are variables that are out of the hitter's control in terms of RBIs. And that means, are the guys in front of you getting on base a lot? You've got to have somebody to drive in.
Well, you have to figure a guy like Juan Gonzalez is going to drive himself in 35 to 40 times a year.
Well, last year 42 times, the year before 47 times.
So he just needs him to get out there 150 times for him. Give him a chance to drive in 150 other guys. He'll drive himself in enough to make up the rest.
He rarely walks. Right up the middle, and Tatis gets his first hit of the game. Some of that work on the side he'd been doing with Rudy Jaramillo, the hitting instructor.
Well, the one thing about Tatis, John, it seems like he has a good attitude about it. He realizes that he's got to work very hard to be successful here in the major leagues.
You see the 1-2-3 in his batting helmet there. That is a tribute to the late Jose Oliva, who had been in the Rangers organization and had come up originally in the Atlanta organization. And he died in a car accident this past winter. And Fernando Tatis wears that on his batting helmet as a tribute to his very good friend, probably his best friend in the world, Jose Oliva, who sadly passed away this winter. Tom Goodwin, the hitter, 0 for 4 tonight. Well, one of the things we're talking about in terms of men getting on base in front of Gonzalez, Goodwin has seen his average fall precipitously as Gilbert Reynolds again. That was a swing. 0-2. Goodwin was hitting up near 400 a week ago. And he's down to 310 now. His on-base average was up 460, 470. And that meant a lot of RBI chances for Gonzalez. Goodwin has 4 hits in his last 36 at-bats. And that means a lot less RBI chances for Gonzalez. Goodwin has got great speed, has stolen 14 bases this year. No swings to do with that bat. Goodwin has he stole 50 bases last year. When he gets on base, he has a great ability to score runs because he can get around the bases. The question is getting on base. He's not doing it right now. 4 for his last 37. 0 for 5 tonight. 2 down. Giles made the catch on that one. Tatis back to first. Now Luis Alicea will come up. Walking past John Burkett. The Ranger bullpen is quiet for the time. Burkett right around 100 pitches, and that should not preclude him from going back out there and trying to pick up the shutout here.
Well, the important thing is he has been able to stay ahead of the hitters, and as long as he does that, he's not going to labor, and that's one of the reasons he's only thrown around 100 pitches. So we'll just have to keep throwing strikes.
Luis Alicea has scored a run and driven home a run tonight. Has a single and a walk. He's 1 for 3 all told. Tatis at first. That's a called strike. Now the Rangers had this fast start, and 2 pitchers have done extremely well. Rick Helling 6-0, and Aaron Seeley, the former Red Sox, 5-2. That's a foul. 0-2 the count. But some of the other guys they've been counting on, like Darren Oliver, has struggled, only 2-4. And Bobby Witt has an earned run average above 8. And Burkett came into the game tonight at 803. There's Rick Helling, who's 6-0.
Well, Oliver pitched a complete game yesterday, so he's back on track, they think. Pitched well.
And now Burkett tonight has pitched a beauty for 8 innings. Down on strikes is Alicea, and Burkett, who has had 4 lifetime shutouts, his last one nearly 2 years ago. We go to the 9th inning. Dunston, Lofton, and Vizquel, 5-0 Texas.
It's on my side. Yes, it is. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. 'Cause I got the cooling, the kind that you need. It keeps running on for me.
Time will definitely be on your side with an Armstrong air conditioner. Armstrong Air. Strength you can rely on.
Hey, Grandpa, tonight we'll be at your house, and I got a surprise for you.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light you see, darling, darling,
isn't it a good surprise?
Stand by me.
The Sabre by Buick. Peace of mind.
Stand by me.
My brother is stubborn.
I'm not.
Won't try anything.
Not true.
Broccoli.
Too green.
Karaoke.
Too hokey.
Then I said try 10-3-2-1.
Too new.
Saves cash on every call in the U.S.
Every call?
Quick or long.
How much?
50% off calls over 20 minutes.
Half price?
Great international rates, too.
I can call Paris?
Oui, monsieur.
Right now?
Don't have to switch phone companies.
Right here?
Just dial 10-3-2-1, then the number as usual.
This is easy. Why didn't I try this sooner? Don't push your luck.
Stubborn.
The Rangers ahead 5-0 as they try and win their 3rd in a row over the Cleveland Indians here at the ballpark in Arlington, Texas. And John Burkett, the 33-year-old right-hander, that had such a horrible beginning. The last time he had a complete game was in 1996 against the Toronto Blue Jays, and that also was the last time that John Burkett pitched a shutout. So Burkett trying to do them both again. That was back in the year when the Texas Rangers first acquired him from the Florida Marlins. So Burkett to face Sean Dunston, Kenny Lofton, and Omar Vizquel. Somebody gets on. Manny Ramirez, Jim Thome also would be coming up. Stay tuned now. Right after the ball game, we'll take you to Sports Center with Dan Patrick and Kenny May. NBA highlights, NHL playoff highlights, and also a conversation with Michael Jordan's mother. It's Mother's Day, after all. So stay tuned for that. And, of course, I'll have all of the highlights of all of the games in baseball, including that other ball game going on in Anaheim. The second-place Angels from the American League West holding a 4-1 lead over the Detroit Tigers in that ball game. Anaheim 3 games back of Texas when the day began. Here is Dunston. He spins one in there for a called strike. So he really made it look so easy tonight.
Well, you're right. Again, he's been hitting his spots so well. I think that's the important thing. He's been able to hit spots, keep the ball down. I mean, I don't remember any balls above the belt. He's been able to keep the ball down, and
that one is ripped down the left field line. That will be extra bases for Sean Dunston. A double for Dunston. The 3rd Cleveland hit. And there's Dick Bosman, the Texas pitching coach, on the phone to the bullpen.
Well, actually, Dunston had hit the ball hard his first time up. And we'll take a look at this pitch. And again, that ball's pretty much in the middle of the plate, but he wants to make them swing the bats, and Dunston rips it down the left field line for a base hit. Dunston had hit him hard, and so had Lofton. So they're basically the only two guys that have swung the bat really well on a consistent basis tonight against Burkett.
John Wetland, the Rangers closer, up in the bullpen as Lofton stands in. And there is ball one. Lofton robbed by Will Clark with a great backhanded stab of a hard grounder in the fourth. And then Juan Gonzalez, who made the play of the night, a spectacular leaping catch in the seventh. 2-0 the count to Kenny Lofton.
I saw John Wetland warming up. They're talking about using Wetland more like Raleigh Fingers and Goose Gossage were used before, and that is maybe pitching an inning and a third, or even 2 innings to mop, to win a ball game, rather than just starting off the 9th inning, as a lot of closers do nowadays. There's John. They say he's even throwing harder now than he has the last couple of years.
He could be his own setup man.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting because you try to get to the 9th inning, and if you don't get there, you don't use your best pitcher. I don't know if that's the way to go anymore. With hitting being, pitching being so scarce nowadays.
2-1 to Lofton. Dunston at third. Changed up there. Lofton fouls it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, I remember Goose Gossage would often be used by Billy Martin for 2 innings, sometimes even more than that. 3 innings. Even longer than that. Yeah. He's ahead after 6. Goose might be his man if he was rested. Well, it's too high.
If he's your best pitcher out of the bullpen, you're trying to win a game, win today's game, and then worry about tomorrow. The next day, who's to say that he might not get to pitch for 3 or 4 days if you don't use him?
So to the count. And it's a walk to Lofton. That is the first walk allowed by John Burkett and Johnny Oates. Got Wetland heating up, and now he sends Dick Bosman, the pitching coach, out there to talk to Burkett. Burkett has not been in this territory very often this year. He is leading 5-0. Now Vizquel, and then the big hitters come up after Vizquel. Ramirez, Thome, Alomar. Dick Bosman, he pitched a no-hitter back in 1974 in Cleveland against the world champion Oakland A's, against the A's of Raleigh Fingers and Catfish Hunter. Vida Blue, Reggie Jackson, and the whole group of them. A real highlight of his career. 5-0. John Burkett having a rather lengthy conversation there with Dick Bosman before the plate umpire Dale Scott breaks it up. 108 pitches thrown by Burkett thus far. Now the lead is not that big that a couple of base hits from now, Johnny Oates won't start feeling the heat of this Cleveland power. Vizquel 0 for 3. Runs up as if to bunt. It's called a strike.
Smart play there by Vizquel if he was to drop it down, but that pitch was hard and on the inside part of the plate. Because if he hit a home run, it wouldn't mean anything. He's trying to get on base.
The big guys are up next. On the outside. Framed nicely by Rodriguez. Strike 2. Dunston led off the inning with a double. He's at second. Lofton walked. He's at first. And that's a foul into the seats. Bouncing over just above the Rangers dugout. 0-2 the count. Well, the Rangers trying to get everything lined up. They're starting pitching after their first 2 had been a question mark. As Joe mentioned, Darren Oliver pitched a strong one last night. Now Burkett tonight. So perhaps Johnny Oates is hoping, I'm sure, that things are starting to fall into place. That's a base hit to right field. Now Dunston held up to make sure that nobody caught it. Will Clark cuts off the throw, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out. Now Manny Ramirez, but here comes Johnny Oates, and he's going to go for Wetland right now. And this is a rule book save situation because the possible tying run is on deck at this point. So Burkett, perhaps he just ran out of steam. He's not been in the 9th inning in a game this year. And the fans pay tribute to Burkett. 5-0 Texas as Burkett departs. We'll be back.
I wanted something that was really fast. I'm talking hyper velocity. I play a lot of games. The graphics defy physical reality. I'm like, you mean I get to build my own computer? And they're like, yeah, that's how we do it. I'm like, sweet.
When you call 1-800-GATEWAY, we'll build a gateway computer just for you. We turbocharged Alex's PC with an Intel 400 megahertz Pentium 2 processor, their fastest one, for a great price. Whoa. Want us to build you a rocket? Call us and let's talk about your gateway.
There are hundreds of lawnmowers to choose from, with a broad range of quality features designed to meet your needs. But the ones that have the edge to do the job right have one feature in common: a powerful, high-performance Briggs & Stratton engine. Make sure your lawnmower is powered by Briggs & Stratton, the power in power equipment.
Wendy's introduces the most delicious combination ever put in a chicken sandwich. Our new honey ham and chicken.
Chicken just doesn't get any better than this.
Come on, what are you waiting for?
John Wetland, the veteran closer, 31 years of age. Of course, he was on the mound when the Yankees won the World Series the year before last. His second year now with Texas. And he comes out with the big power hitters coming up. Ramirez, Tomey, Alomar, and the bases loaded with nobody out. He's had 16 strikeouts, only 2 walks allowed, only 6 hits given up. But he has given up 2 homers. Dunston at third, Lofton at second, Vizquel at first, and Ramirez ready to stand in. See, Ramirez has never done well against John Wetland. Hard throwing right-hander, excellent curveball. Came right after him there, Joe.
I think John Wetland will do that with Ramirez, try to stay in tight on him and then maybe get him to chase a slider away. But fastballs, I think he'll try to stay in tight.
Ramirez was off to a real hot start this year. Tailed off somewhat since the first couple of weeks of the season. Actually had 10 RBIs in the first 4 games of the year. He swung at that curveball. That's what we're talking about, the real sharp breaking ball. It is 0-2.
Ramirez, take a look at this breaking ball from Wetland. If you're Ramirez, you're sitting on the fastball because you have to look for a fastball. You see that ball breaking down on the way on mass cam.
He took that one, came right back with another breaking ball.
Ramirez hurt his calves lifting weights in the weight room. He overdid it a couple of times, and his calves have been bothering him, so that's one of the reasons that he's not running very well right now.
It's funny how Cal Ripken has gone all these years and never had that happen. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ramirez. Nobody out. Too high. Staying with that off-speed delivery.
That was a surprise there. The 1-2 pitch, you think that he might want to bust him inside or throw him the fastball again as he did on the first pitch, but now 2-2, you just about have to come with the fastball.
Dunston, Lofton, and Vizquel get their leads. The infield double play dead. Will Clark can't handle it. Doesn't know where it is. It went into right field. And 2 runs will score. Over to third base goes Vizquel.
I think the runner partially blocked Will Clark's view of that ball. Ramirez hit a bullet, but it looked like the runner was blocking him, and Will didn't get a clear view of the ball until it got on top of him. Well, you see the runner there. Now watch where the ball's hit right there where he was standing, and Will Clark could not come up with it. Base hit, 2 ribbies for Ramirez.
Both of those runs charged to Burkett. Now the possible tying run of the game comes up. Jim Thome, the man who's hit 78 or had hit 78 home runs the last 2 years. That is too low. Thome struck out 3 consecutive times against Burkett. So he may relish the chance to face the much harder throwing, but also much more aggressive right-hander John Wetland. 359 for the year. 2-0. Thome has 6 home runs and also 16 doubles. Sandy Alomar is on deck. Wetland with 8 saves and 8 save opportunities this year, and has converted each of his last 20 opportunities with the Rangers dating back to last year.
And Johnny Oates is going to be questioned, no matter what the outcome of this ball game, about leaving Burkett in so long and giving the Indians a chance to come back.
2 runs in, nobody out. High off the left field line and well back out of play. Vizquel at third base with Ramirez at first base. Ramirez picking up his 22nd and 23rd RBIs of the year on that base hit. And the crowd, what's left of it, very quiet here, very nervous. The powerful Cleveland Indians are suddenly right back in the ball game here. And a man is at the plate who could tie it up with one swing of his bat. High in the air, but it'll stay in the ballpark. Greer started back, now comes in. The tag at third by Vizquel, and he scores run number 3. Jim Thome gets the RBI, his 28th of the year. I think he had more than just the 1 RBI though in mind.
Well, he got a fastball out over the plate where he likes it. He just did not. He got under it just enough to keep it in the ballpark.
So all 3 of the runners who were on base when Wetland came into the game have scored. All charged to John Burkett. So Burkett ends up in 8+ innings being charged with 3 runs and 4 hits. Ramirez at first, Alomar at the plate. Curveball misses. Remember, it was just last week that Alomar hit that dramatic 9th inning grand slam to beat the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. To the bottom of the 9th at Cleveland. That's a smash into left field. He hung a curveball. And now the possible tying runs are on base.
And Brian Giles is coming up. And as you mentioned, I mean, this guy is strong. He's got 8 home runs. So now the go-ahead runner steps to the plate, and he happens to be left-handed. I mean, this is a breaking ball, and this is Sandy Alomar at his best. I mean, he just stays on it and just rips it to left field for a base hit. And Greer cuts it off and holds the runner at second. So now the tying run is on base.
Brian Giles has 8 RBIs in the last 7 games. He strikes on the outside. He has faced Wetland only 2 times in his career, and one of those 2 times he hit a home run. Possible tying runs are on base. 1 ball, 1 strike. The runners, Ramirez at second and Alomar, the possible tying run at first. 5-3 the score now. Cleveland did not even have a base runner in this game until 2 down in the 7th. They came into the 9th with only 2 base runners for the whole night. That's a called strike.
One of the things a manager has to guard against is pulling for the players sometimes. And maybe, you know, Johnny Oates wanted to give Burkett a chance to get a complete game and shut him down.
Curveball in the dirt.
But in doing so and letting Burkett pitch into the 9th inning and put 3 runners on, it's a danger now of winning the ball game.
So Burkett ends up 3 runs, 4 hits allowed. And ironically, all 3 of the runs after he was out of the game. Nonetheless, an outstanding performance by Burkett. The fastball, strike 3 called on the outside. Stayed away from Giles throughout that at bat.
Well, Burkett breathes a little easier now because this was basically the last home run hitter that Wetland was going to have to face. As you see, hits right on the outside corner, right there where the target was, and he is punched out by Dale Scott.
Now David Bell, 1 for 3. That is a pop foul that was well back out of play. Now David Justice is a left-handed hitter who is here, but he, after attempting to take some batting practice before the game, told Mike Hargrove that his back problem was such that he would not be able to play. So Hargrove is not using him here. He also has Mark Whitten. They switch hitter with power, but he's going with Bell. Driven away. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Bell, with his 1 hit tonight, is hitting better than 340. So he has had the hot bat of late. 2 down, 2 on, 3 runs in, 9th inning. And now the veteran right-hander Wetland has the Cleveland ball club down to its final strike. Wetland trying to wrap it up for John Burkett. Ramirez at second. Alomar the possible tying run. At first, they'll both be running at the crack of the bat. The curveball. He was not tempted.
And did you see Pudge Rodriguez get over and catch that ball? That ball was way outside. And if you get a wild pitch right now, you move the tying run in the scoring position. It's just excellent. I mean, he's done it 3 times in the last 2 hitters.
Now Bell is a much better possibility to knock home the tying run if he's at second base than where he is still now at first. To shortstop, Elster. And Alicea's got the final out. So the Cleveland Indians make a run here in the 9th inning, but fall a couple of runs short. And the Texas Rangers make it 3 in a row over Cleveland this weekend. And John Burkett, who has struggled so terribly all through the year, doesn't get the shutout. But nonetheless, a well-earned victory, his 3rd of the season. Wetland gets the save. 5-3 Texas. And Joe and I will see you next Sunday from Toronto. Ken Griffey Jr. the Seattle Mariners take on the Toronto Blue Jays and Jose Cruz Jr. and Jose Canseco. 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. We hope that you will join us then. Again, our thanks to the catchers, Sandy Alomar and Ivan Rodriguez, for wearing masks tonight. We hope you enjoyed the telecast. John Miller for Joe Morgan. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.